Redhawks baseball is on the air tonight from beautiful Newman Outdoor Field, where tonight it is Game 2 between the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks and the Lake Country DockHounds of this three-game series. Warm conditions in the Red River Valley again today with temperatures into the 90s this afternoon should make for a pleasant evening. And a pleasant good evening to you. Jack Michaels, voice of the FM Redhawks, with you tonight, where last night, well, the Lake Country DockHounds had some big bats going yesterday here at Newman Outdoor Field and used solid pitching on the mound. Lake Country last night pushing across 14 runs on 16 hits. It's the first loss by 13 or more runs at home since June of 2024, and the Lake Country DockHounds didn't miss. Feliciano homering to left field. Peter Zimmerman cracked a 3-run home run to separate last night, and they just kept adding on. But, as they say in baseball, today's a new day, and for the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks, they'll hand the ball to left-hander Patrick Wicklander. Patrick looking for his first win of the season. Meanwhile, for Lake Country, they counter with Connor Fenlong. Fenlong 1-0 on the year. Looking forward to a good matchup again tonight at Newman Outdoor Field. The Fargo Moorhead Redhawks have slipped to a game under 500 with the loss last night. Lake Country, 11 games deep into the season. They are a game over 500 tonight. Love the pitching matchup tonight with Fenlong for Lake Country. Certainly Patrick Wicklander with great stuff. A left-handed hurler, but Ken Huckabee has a lot of right-handed bats. We'll see what happens tonight. Sit back and enjoy. It is American Association Baseball tonight. Lake Country managed by Ken Huckabee. Leading off for Lake Country, Ripken Reyes, the switch-hitting shortstop. Dom Johnson in center field with Julio Carreras batting third. Josh Mears batting cleanup. Pete Zimmerman drove in 4 runs last night, batting fifth. And Feliciano, Mario Feliciano, the catcher, batting sixth. Jack Blomgren hit 7th. Brett Roberts, the left fielder, batting 8th. And Ray Zuber collected 3 hits in a 9-hole yesterday. Really had a nice night in Game 1. That's a pretty good lineup, and you got some switch hitters in there, but dominant right-handed lineup against the lefty Patrick Wicklander. So the jury will, the challenge is there for Patrick today. Defensively for the Redhawks, Jairus Richards in left, Jesus Lujano in center, Dylan Thomas in right. Andy Nelson and Aiden Byrne on the left side, Colby Wilkerson and Jose Sermo on the right side of that Redhawk infield. Carlos Amaya catching tonight for the Hawks. DHing Juan Fernandez. So there's the lineups tonight on this field. Now let's go to Bob Roars, the PA voice, as he brings the team onto the field.
Here they are, your hometown team, your Fargo Moorhead Redhawks.
Patrick Wicklander heading out first, then the rest of the team to follow. The Redhawks in their whites on white tonight with those striking blood red numerals. Those Redhawk colors of red, white, and black. The numerals trimmed in black. Patrick Wicklander. And as Crisco said, this is a AAA guy drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays organization, 8th-round pick, University of Arkansas. Patrick Wicklander has been involved in some big games, and he doesn't crack under pressure. The ERA inflated a bit, touched up for some runs in Cleburne, but his stuff is good. At ERA over 14, but 8 strikeouts, couple of walks, and no decisions that is this year for Patrick. So no wins, no losses on the early season. The umpires for tonight's game presented by Onstad Twitchell. Your life, your law firm, with offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, and Castleton. Calling balls and strikes tonight, the crew chief. That's Jeff Beeman. Jeff Beeman behind the plate tonight. Andrew Pugliano is the local. He's at first base tonight. Andrew Pugliano, the umpire at first base tonight. And Alex Endell is the umpire at third. So there's your crew tonight. Redhawks, maybe we talked about just 4 hits yesterday. Half of them were infield singles. You know, hopefully the likes of Jose Sermo, who is homering about every 4 at-bats to start this season. Maybe he gets going. Defensively, the Redhawks going to shore some things up. That good shortstop in Aiden Byrne. In the outfield, Jesus Lujano, who is nursing. Crisco's talked about some injuries. He's been playing through a quad that maybe isn't, totally healthy, but it's a gutsy team. The Redhawks eventually will get all the pieces healthy, everybody in their spots, and again, we're 12 games in. Jairus Richards ready to patrol left field today. 318 down that line and left, 314 down the line and right, where Dylan Thomas.
Leading off top of the first
resides defensively. 408, the deepest part of center, and 399, that alley in left center field. So Ripken Reyes stepping into home plate. It's always the case, too, when, the 16 hits, 14 runs yesterday for Lake Country, and then poor Ripken Reyes, who's one of the, great hitter. He was 0 for 6. He was the only one that didn't have a hit in the lineup. To be careful tonight. The first pitch is a tad inside, and we're underway at 7:08.
First pitch, 7:02 plus 6.
Central Time, 92 degrees. Patrick Wicklander. Let's see what Patrick can do. He'll command that zone, as we said. Has some great stuff when it's on. That's a good pitch in there for a strike. Heavy ball, knee high, little sink in there. Reyes, Johnson, and Carreras. Mears, Zimmerman, and Feliciano. Blumgren, Roberts, and Zuber III to line up again for Lake Country. The former Razorback into the line. The pitch is high and away. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, there's no secret. There's not an easy, you can't. You look at everybody's schedule and say, this will be an. There's no easy road. But for the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks, playing 16 of their first 22 on the road, a 2-1 pitch, just a bit away. 3-1 the count. So your thought was, after winning your first 4 in Cleburne, but then dropped the next 3, you thought, well, get back home, get a little home cooking. But then Kane County came to town and they were playing good ball. And now Lake Country, 3-1 pitch, swing and a foul tip, strike 2. And then the gauntlet awaits the Redhawks coming up this weekend. Sioux Falls, 9-3 to start the year, their first 12 games. And Mike Meyer, you got to give credit. I love Sioux Falls. That team, if you don't respect that, you don't understand, period. This team has really risen above, and Mike Meyer's done a great job. A lot of respect for those Canaries. Playing some great ball. That'll be a fun series. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. And Wicklander catches Reyes looking. It's a good way to start for Patrick. Came back from down to the count. Came back and get it. And then Kansas City, that's a great rivalry between these two clubs. The Redhawks would go there for a few. And then Milwaukee. And, Milwaukee's above 500 to start. So love the road trip coming up. But the Redhawks hopefully get traction here in Newman tonight and tomorrow. Batter is Dom Johnson, the right-handed batting center fielder. Wicklander kicks and fires. Hit high in the air to straightaway center field. Got a slight breeze, as I mentioned, blowing in, and the catch made by Lujano. So that ball to center with height is going to hang a bit. 2 up and 2 down for Lake Country. It brings up Julio Carreras. So Carreras, I mentioned he was part of the group that found a bear a little bit yesterday. No Lake Country DockHound, I mentioned this yesterday, has hit for the cycle. Carreras takes a strike. Well, last night he had an opportunity. He had tripled, he had singled, he had doubled. He was hit by a pitch. Wicklander into the motion and the pitch. Fouled back. There's your first foul ball into the concourse. Holy cow, how about that? Right out the netting. Foul ball presented by Rovello Tires. Swing for the fences with Rovello Ridge Track all-terrain tires. You can find yours at Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks. Fargo Tire in Fargo. 2 strikes on the batter, Carreras. And here's a liner into right field. It is caught by Dylan Thomas. Boy, line drive, twisting and fading, and Thomas pulls it in. Nice defensive play by the veteran and former big leaguer Dylan Thomas, and down goes the DockHounds in order in the top of the first. Nothing across. Hawks coming up. DockHounds nothing. Redhawks coming to bat. This is Redhawks baseball. Back at Newman Outdoor Field is the Redhawks set to bat in the bottom of the first inning. They're up against Connor Fenlong tonight. 1-0 with a 2.70 earned run average. And he's got 10 innings of work under his belt this year. 11 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, couple of walks. Connor Fenlong. Fenlong spent a little time at a Royals organization. He's a former Sycamore from Indiana State, if I'm not mistaken. Redhawks had a former Sycamore. We call him the Big Sycamore, Tyler Grauer. Indiana State's produced some ball players. Jarris Richards leads it off. Chris Coase putting forth that lineup. Richards leading off, followed by the DH tonight, Juan Fernandez. Dylan Thomas hitting in that 3 spot. Jose Sermo, the big slugger, batting cleanup, followed by Jesus Lujano. First offering from Fenlong is low. Colby Wilkerson batting 6th. Carlos Amaya, the catcher, hits 7th. Aiden Byrne, shortstop, batting 8th. And Andy Nelson batting 9th. That's the Redhawks lineup. Fenlong, hard-throwing right-hander, delivers a pitch and fouled off to the right. One thing, the power arms, and last night we saw a little bit of that with Lake Country. You know, Dillard was bringing it out of the bullpen, 96 to 98. They got some big arms. The 1-1 pitch is just a bit away. Good movement. That at 95. So, man, that could be, has got boys with some velo. Richards, Fernandez, Thomas, Sermo, Lujano, and Wilkerson, Amaya, Byrne, and Nelson are the 2-1. Fouled away. Jarris, 10 hits on the year. He scored 7 runs, a couple of doubles. That home run he's got on the year, that was a big home run in Cleburne at the time when he hit it. Redhawks were down a run. And a 2-run home run. 6 runs batted in. The one thing Richards has done is work counts. He has drawn 12 walks on the year. Fenlong's pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him upstairs. And a strikeout for Connor Fenlong. His first of the night and 9th of the season. Yesterday, see some high heat right there from Fenlong. Yesterday it was a little mix of both. You know, located fastballs, on hands, away, up, and then that secondary stuff, change, slide, cut. First offering on the way, another first pitch fastball. This one to Jimmy. Juan Fernandez, take it high. Juan's putting up numbers. Juan Fernandez could fall out of bed and hit 330. He is just a professional player. 1-0 pitch. Grounded softly to the left side of the infield, scooped up by Reyes. Ripken makes the play across the diamond. 2 up and 2 down.
Right fielder, number 22.
And the batter here is Dylan Thomas. Now DT taking that walk up there, the big leaguer. Pros Pro, one of the leaders of this Redhawks club last couple of seasons. Sitting on 3 round trippers, 15 runs scored. He's drawn 9 free passes this year, 8 runs batted in. But Dylan, look at that. And of course, he didn't slow up in the offseason either. A 2 up and 2 down. The pitch is a little bit low. Mario Feliciano, the battery mate of Connor Fenlong. Brett Roberts in left, Dom Johnson in center, Ray Zuber the outfield and right. Shift is on to the infield, playing Thomas to pole, and he swings and fouls. Julio Carreras at third, mentioned Ripken Reyes. You know, Ripken Reyes, the shortstop, and he's tugged over right. Jack Blomgren at second, Peter Zimmerman at first. So you have a child, and you name him Ripken after Cal Ripken, and that child grows up to not only be a pro baseball player, but a shortstop. I mean, who knew? 2 balls and a strike. Fenlong, the pitch is just off the plate. Boy, 91 trying to dart one on the outer half. Thomas sees it away, and it was. And Dylan Thomas now with the hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike. If the Redhawks can't get a man aboard with 2 outs here in the first, Thomas pulls 1 foul up the first base line. Now the fix-it forward raceway night tonight, speedway night tonight, and the Red Rally Fair night tomorrow night. Connor Fenlong wants a new ball, so they'll reset the pitch clock here. 3-2 the count on Dylan Thomas. Nice warm day. My goodness, the field is looking better each day. Just plush green grass. Payoff pitch is high, and the Red Hawks have a 2-out base runner on the free pass to Dylan Thomas. Bring up Jose Sermo. It's good at bat for DT. Saw it up. You know, that's the pitch that got Richards in the bottom of this first inning, that high heat. And Dylan Thomas is not going to go after that. So Dylan jogs on down to first, where he's met by first base coach and bench coach Joe Dominic. Chris Coast, the manager of the Red Hawks, at the third base coaching box. Robbie Lopez, the bullpen coach. Here's Jose. The pitch is low. And even though the bats were held in check last night, this is still a team that is extremely dangerous, and with the long ball. Came out of the gates hard, hitting the ball over the fence. The 1-0 delivery. That caught the outside corner. That little cut came back in. Sermo with those 7 home runs. Sermo is, talk about him, the home runs, the runs batted in, 17 RBI in a year. Off-speed pitches low. Jose leads the league in home runs. Elvis Peralta, Gary, the reigning last week's player of the week, batter of the week in the league, is second with 4. Garza with 4. Peter Zimmerman of Lake Country hit his 4th. They're all tied for second. Jose's second overall career home run man in the league. The pitch driven high in the air to right field. Did he get all of it? It is holding up, and it is caught in right field. Ray Zuber going back to get it, and Jose just didn't get all of it. The Red Hawks are out. No runs, no hits. They leave a runner. We go to the top of the second inning after 1. Hawks nothing, Lake Country nothing. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. 1 inning down today from Newman Outdoor Field. What a great place to gather with friends and family and the kids. You're coming out here to Newman. A nice, warm, sunny day. There are great shaded areas here at Newman Outdoor Field, and fans, some like the sun, some like the shade, some like to walk the concourse, some sit in the thriving field level lounge, some at the UND party deck down the right field line, the Surfside patio. A lot of great places. This time of night, under relatively clear skies is where we start seeing, sun not going to be down for a while, but you start seeing it between that 720, 750, where shade encompasses home plate, the pitcher standing in sunshine, and the rest of the field in sunlight. So Patrick Wicklander entering his second inning of work. Cleanup hitter Joshua Mears leading it off, and the first offering is a good one. Some teams in the league, in Wisconsin and Cleburne, they got the turf field, and that's great. That's obviously a clean surface, but here's a hot smash into left field to base hit by Mears, leadoff single. Mears' 10th hit of the year, and the DockHounds had their leadoff man aboard. But there's something about the grass and the dirt. Here's Peter Zimmerman. Mentioned hit his 4th home run last night. One thing about the turf infield, turf outfield, those rugs, that obviously when weather hits, that's a benefit for that. Checking the runner at first, Wicklander. The pitch home, and just a bit down and in. But boy, when you get this, and the Red Hawks have had great, grounds crew and people that work in that department, when this grass starts growing, and right now it looks like a kale smoothie. It's just a spinach kind of rich green, and they start mowing those designs in this field. Inverted V's and checker, swing and a miss on the off speed to Zimmerman. This ballpark obviously was built 95, completed 96. 3+ decades at Newman. The pitch, Zimmerman takes low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now Peter Zimmerman had a 4 RBI night last night. Batting .211, okay, but 4 homers, double, 11 RBIs. Wicklander trying to get him to put one into the ground. Instead, he lines the ball to right field. This ball is hit well. Thomas trying to go for it, won't get it. It gets past him, rolling to the wall. Mears rounding second on his way to third. Mears coming in to score. Zimmerman on his way to third. It's an RBI triple for Peter Zimmerman. And Lake Country strikes first tonight, 1-0 DockHounds. And for Dylan Thomas, that ball off a right-handed bat with power in Peter Zimmerman looking to split the gap. Dylan Thomas, I think, at the last second, trying to get an angle and cut that off, and he was caught between a dive and then realized, I don't think I'm going to get this. Then you're just trying to stop the ball, but it had a little juice on it. It hit the ground and spun past him, and Lake Country back-to-back hits, the single and the triple, and here's Feliciano coming off a home run he hit last night. Wicklander's pitch hit on the ground. Wicklander fields it at second, and they'll keep the runner Zimmerman at base, or Colby Wilkerson, I should say, makes the play on the first.
Second baseman number 10,
One away. Boy, Colby. Well, can Wicklander do that a couple of more times? Here's Jack Blumgren. Infield again, trying to prevent that runner from third. And the off-speed pitch is low. If you're Jack Blumgren of Lake Country, you're looking to elevate a ball here. If you're Patrick Wicklander of the Red Hawks, trying to keep that thing low in the zone and induce something on the ground. The lefty takes the sign from Amaya, and the pitch is away. Nelson at third, Byrne at short, Wilkerson at second with Sermo at first. Hawks down a run here. The pitch is low. Slight breeze shifting a little bit. Coming out of the east a little bit more tonight, blowing in from right center. Hawks would even take a shallow fly ball. Zimmerman, powerful guy at third, but not part of the burners, if you will, with all due respect. Just laid out a triple. Strike in there, 3-1 the count. Trying to wiggle off a little hook here. The pitch, and this ball will get a run in. High fly ball to left field. So Blomgren does his job. Catch is made. Zimmerman tagging. Look at this toss by Richards. It's off the mark, and the sac fly is good. A good arm strength there from Jarris Richards, but not enough. It's 2-0 Lake Country. As we said, Blomgren just looking to elevate a ball to get that run in. A third run batted in for Jack Blomgren on the season, but Jarris Richards does have a little bit of a toy cannon in that outfield. And a batter here is Brent Roberts. And the infield moves back, base is empty, 2 outs, 2-0 Lake Country. Wicklander's pitch, away for ball. Yeah, it was tight early last night. I mentioned Lake Country put a run up in the second yesterday. They added one in the fourth. Here's a pitch just off the plate. 2-0 through 4. And they thought, okay, well, we're reaching the middle part. Maybe those bats will get going. Well, what happened yesterday, the bats really never did. And then Lake Country showing their wares. Tonight, just about getting out number 3 here in a second. Let's see what those bats can do. Here's a hot smash hit to third. Played deep by Nelson. He's got a long throw across the diamond. And Sermo trying to stretch it. Pops off his mitt. That may go down as an error on Jose Sermo. Yeah. Well, Andy Nelson played that back and then took a little time to shuffle and throw. Roberts can run a bit, and not sure if that ball ran on Jose Sermo at 1B. but an error is made, and that's a column the Red Hawks have got to shore up a little bit too. Chris Coast talked about that. So Wicklander will have to pitch an extra out, and the batter runner going, pitches low and away. Great opportunity there on a breaking pitch. Brett Roberts chose the right pitch to go on as he swipes second base. And when you're putting W's on and you're applying pressure offensively and you're knocking the ball a little bit, for Ken Huckabee, the manager, he's got some speed boys on there. Roberts, Suber, Blomgren can run. Now you've got a runner in scoring position, so that error now is on second. And here's a broken bat, weak ground ball towards second. Colby Wilkerson has it. This ball is on to first for out number 3, and that is all for the Lake Country DockHounds. But the DockHounds do get a couple of runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. We go to the bottom of 2 from Newman. It's Lake Country 2, Red Hawks nothing. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. Tonight here at Newman Outdoor Field, but looking for those temperatures again even tomorrow. They've been starting with 9s this week, the temperature. We'll see a little bit of that coming up tomorrow as well. The 2 teams will wrap up their series tomorrow night here at Newman. Kane County will then return to Geneva, Illinois. Lake Country will return to Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and face Milwaukee over the weekend. The Red Hawks, as I mentioned, on the road to Sioux Falls. But first things first, Hawks got to find a way here, down 2-0 to these pesky DockHounds. A second inning of work for Connor Fenlong into the motion, and the pitch is a strike in there to Jesus Lujano. Lujano, Wilkerson, and Amaya. A little bit of a shift, tugging Lujano to pull, left-handed batter, and he takes inside. Jesus he's such a pleasant man. He chatting with Jesus today, came up to me, said, Jack, and sometimes scoring systems get off on these players' stats, and Lujano pulls the ball foul out of the park. So Lujano hit a ball in Cleburne off a diving Brantley Bell. It was a double, and they didn't award him the double, so the stats haven't been corrected yet. And then last night, Amaya hit, but the scoring had Lujano in there, and then Jesus was so nice in asking because it was an at-bat, and it went on Jesus' line, and it wasn't Jesus Lujano. And then I said, by the way, you have 6 doubles this year. Stats only show 5, so got to correct that. 2-2 count, and a foul away. That hasn't changed over the 30 years because you might think, well, what's one at bat? Well, that's what these resumes are built on. It means a lot. So Lujano, 15 hits on the year, as I mentioned, 6 doubles, a home run. The pitch, oh, he got it. Boy, nasty pitch. Connor Fenlong, bottom dropped out. He spins it in there. Second strikeout of the game for Connor Fenlong. We'll bring up the switch hitting former Tar Heel, Colby Wilkerson. So what Colby can do is he takes a strike at the knees. Spent a little time last year with Michael Slack, Pioneer League in Missoula. Red Hawks bringing him over to the American Association. Jake Jelly now in Missoula. Wilkerson swinging a foul tip. Little backdoor action right there from Connor Fenlong. But Colby in a Red Hawks uniform, he's 10 of 21 on his young season with the Hawks. Hitting at a 476 pace. Now he's going to have to protect, and he swings and fouls one back off the concourse. Going to the count with 1 away. Here at Newman. Lake Country leading 2-0. The pitch got him. Came back door again and struck him out. Boy, and Fenlong now is working the edges. Got that good enough fastball. Bring a little backdoor slide piece. 3 strikeouts in the game for Connor Fenlong. And here's Carlos Amaya. What the Red Hawks added to this team from Kane County. Let's see if Amaya can jumpstart the Hawks with 2 outs here in their half of the second. Fenlong's pitch, and Amaya aggressive fouls it back. Well, fans, you can celebrate your child's birthday with a Red Hawks game in the Sandy's Donuts birthday zone. Those birthday parties available for 10+ people, including game tickets, a meal, hats, souvenir programs. You got it all. Scoreboard recognition, and, of course, delicious Sandy's Donuts. Contact Red Hawks ticket office to book the Sandy's Donuts birthday zone. Oh, you'll be the talk of your block. 1 strike on Amaya. Hawks have had 1 base runner, an inning and 2/3. That was a walk to Dylan Thomas. Amaya takes low. Again, earlier today, Sioux Falls and Kane County split a doubleheader in Geneva. Chicago nipping Cleburne 7-6 this afternoon. Amaya pulls off a swing and a foul tip. One thing you can tell out of the gate here, I mean, Fenlong just staying off the fatty part of the plate. That's pitching. He's ahead again. 1-2, breaking pitch popped up. Wind should pull this into the stands, and it will. Souvenir. Hey, on a hop. There you go. That's reflexes. And give it to a child. That's even, look at that. Yeah, now you're even more popular. There you go. Amaya trying to hang in there against Fenlong, the 1-2, and he may have gone around. They say he did, and it's a strikeout for Fenlong. He strikes out the side here in the second. Boy, 4 strikeouts already the game for Connor Fenlong. He's got the goods working here tonight at Newman. Early in tonight's game, we're after 2. Lake Country 2, the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks nothing. This is Red Hawks baseball. Beautiful night for baseball here at Newman Outdoor Field. Fans just always relaxing, midweek ball game outside, sunshine, beverages are cool, food is fantastic. I was back with the girls in the clubhouse here, Bridget and the staff and Aaron and all the whole crew back there, and they were bringing food to the suites, and they had 3 crock pots full of like bratwurst and hot dogs. I'm thinking, I almost tackled them and said, why don't get those into the booth? That's good, but boy, the kids loving that. Next thing the fans would like, if the Red Hawks have a quick inning here, get those bats going and try to put something on the board. Yesterday, just scoring 1 run. Top of the order for Lake Country. Here in the top of the third, Ripken Reyes, who struck out looking against Patrick Wicklander in his first plate appearance. Reyes at the dish. The pitch on the way is a ball low. Lake Country putting 9 to the plate in the first 2 innings. 6 of those last inning scoring 2 runs. They lead at 2-0. 1-0 pitch is hit sharply, pulled down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Fans, a great game plan for the summer. Hit the road, catch an event, explore the outdoors, make memories in North Dakota. Your next adventure is waiting at HelloND.com. Great state. Spent a little time with a proponent of North Dakota, Josh Dumel, today. It does a lot for the tourism industry in his home state. You can cross the state in half a dozen hours or longer. May catch a ball game in Fargo. Stop by, see a big buffalo in Jamestown. 1-1 pitch away. Maybe have one of those pizzas in Valley City. If you're on 94, get a stuffed animal at the Coffee Cup in Steel. Swing on into Bismarck. Look at the Capitol. See the giant cow in New Salem. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Pulled foul. Look out. Out of the thriving field level lounge. You get to the western side of the state. Maybe eat at the Trappers Kennel in Belfield. Head north, go up the north unit, the Badlands. 2-2 the count on Ripken Reyes. The pitch Little chopper to first. Sermo plays it back off the lip. He's going to have to flip it to Wicklander, which he does to make the play. Now, Jose, that's one of those balls as a first baseman. When you see the bigger hop come in and get it, but that was kind of a medium hop, and Jose Sermo said, you know what? I'm going to play it on that medium hop, but Reyes can run. Pitcher cover. One away. Here's Dom Johnson. A big shout out to the 84 Italian Steakhouse for being part of the Red Hawks restaurant team, providing the team meals tonight. Johnson flew out to medium deep center his first at bat, takes a strike here. 84 Italian Steakhouse. It's on the second floor of the Radisson Blue in downtown Fargo. Enjoy that bold Italian American flavor. Relaxed upscale vibe all day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Call for reservations or find them on Open Table. Look out. Another ball pulled foul. Nate the Great, cameraman working at handheld off that Red Hawks dugout. Never misses a shot. Eat, sip, savor. 84 Italian Steakhouse inside the Radisson Blue Hotel in downtown Fargo. Well, Patrick Wicklander ahead 0-2. 2-0 DockHounds lead. Batting in the top of the third. Dom Johnson out of the box. Pitch clock is at 11, so he's good. Wicklander set. And Andy Nelson, a third baseman, after a couple of pulled balls, nearing that line at third. And Wicklander throws one away. Winnipeg and Gary, South Shore tied at 1 in the fifth inning today at the Steel Yard in Gary, Indiana. Hawks Field at Haymarket Park, Lincoln, leading Kansas City 3-1 in the fourth. Now the pitch, again outside, 2-2. Wicklander with his battery mate tonight, Carlos Amaya. 2-2 pitch. And that slider down and in. 3-2 the count. We saw Dom Johnson, and I mentioned the DockHounds will send a bevy of right-handed batters to the plate against the lefty Wicklander. Looks like he's going to come back in. The payoff pitch comes back over the middle. It's into the ground left side, scooped up. Oh, and dropped by Andy Nelson. Nelson to his left coming across. Byrne coming in. And Nelly with not a ball that was hit awfully hard. Thinking, I've got the best shot here. I'm going to get it. If it gets back to Aiden Byrne, it's a tough throw across the body for Nelson. He'll be charged with an error. That's the second error of the game for Fargo Moorhead. And now you're making Patrick Wicklander throw outs. Not saying that was an easy play, but we've seen Nelly make those plays. Just couldn't get it in the mid. So here is Julio Carreras, who lined out to Dylan Thomas, his first at bat. Again, this DockHound team doesn't mind running. Wicklander, long wait on the hill. Pitch clock at 7, pitch clock at 6, and time called at home. And this is part of Patrick's game. You know, he's a crafty, little bit left-hander. Saw this one in his starts in Cleburne. Those you catching it on AA Baseball TV, Hawkeye just that's a close-up there. Good to have you on Gray Media as well tonight. And our partnership with Valley News Live, the 365 and digital 11.4, excuse me. And on our radio home AM 740 The Fan. 1-0 the count in Carreras. The pitch is inside and low. 2-0. But Patrick will do that. Number one, he's a left-hander, so you hope maybe just being left-handed, facing that runner at first base neutralizes maybe some of the action. You can deceive a little bit. But he will also just wait until that pitch clock is down to 3-2 to pitch. It's down to 1, and now throws over to first. And that's kind of the gamesmanship that Patrick Wicklander will do. At times he'll maybe quick pitch. Times let that pitch clock with a runner on that starts at 20 and starts winding down. Now Dom Johnson, the base runner, trying to read it. 2-0 pitch, runner not going. The pitch in on the ground might be a double play. Byrne flips it to Wicklander on to first. It's a double play! Just like that. 6-4-3 twin killing, and that will end the top of the third inning. That double play presented by Wired Electric, providing heating, expert heating, air conditioning, and electrical services to keep your home comfortable, your business running smoothly all year round. Wired Electric, powering comfort on and off the field. No runs, no hits, 1 error, no one left. We go to the bottom of 3. Lake Country 2, Red Hawks nothing. This is Red Hawks baseball. Bottom half of the third inning, doing the little dancing here at Newman Outdoor Field. I like everybody having fun, from the kids to the adults. That's what baseball's all about. The one sport where everybody is really a kid at heart. Aiden Byrne leading it off for Fargo Moorhead, bottom of 3. Hawks looking to get some base runners, but I'll tell you, Connor Fenlong is off to a nice start tonight. 2 innings, he's faced 1 over the minimum and 4 strikeouts. So this is the first look for Aiden Byrne at Fenlong. And the pitch, Burnsy takes low and away. So just go up there, and I'm sure the mantra tonight, have good quality at bats. Swing at strikes if you can. Easier said than done, I get it. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, and that ball just moving. It's not 93 on a plane, that's 93 with good cut. Got some sink. To mention Fenlong right now, his ability to keep the ball off the fatty part of the plate as he spins away, and the Red Hawks shortstop Aiden Byrne doesn't chase. Couple of balls and a strike on Aiden Byrne. Burnsy 9 hits on the year, 5 runs batted in. Takes a ball, a little bit in. Good location. Lake Country bench asking for location on that. 3-1 the count. The wind and the pitch. That's a strike over the inside corner. And the count runs full. Sophia, please. Our guest next inning coming in. Help yourself to any candy. Wow. Payoff pitch hit softly out towards second, scooped up by Blomgren, who makes the play to first. You let me know if you can hear me okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, look at you. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Sophia Thompson in the booth. And we get an opportunity in the next this inning, and maybe even the next inning, to talk a little bit about the Fix It Forward Speedway and the Red River Valley Fair.
Yeah.
The fact that people can ride the zipper with Carl Hoym.
What?
Wait a minute, that's not part of it.
Is that your favorite ride? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Here's Andy Nelson. The pitch on the way is a strike. Yeah, it's a great thing this week with the Red Hawks teaming up. And all the fans here tonight, I believe, got themselves a ticket.
Yeah. Ticket to the Speedway tonight and fair tomorrow.
Look at that. There's a strike to Nelly. 0-2 the count. Hawks down 2-0. Just trying to get somebody on base tonight. It has not been easy, and Nelson slashes one foul off to the right. That's a Rovello foul ball. Rovello tires can be found at Corwin Auto Group in Fargo Moorhead. Same 2 teams, as Sophia mentioned, tomorrow night as well. Game 3 of this 3-game series. 0-2 pitch. Snuck one in there, and another strikeout for Connor Fenlong. Speaking of the zipper, he has been just zipping balls. That is his 5th strikeout already tonight. That brings up Jairus Richards. So you got to be jacked up here. I mean, this is the summer for racing. It's the summer for rides. It's the summer to walk with a giant turkey leg on a fairground.
Yep, and it really feels like it tonight. Really does.
Here's top of the order, Jairus Richards. Takes down low. I don't know why. Whenever I think of the fair, I just think of giant turkey. You know, people walking around with them. Oh, yeah. Right?
That's more honestly Renaissance fair. Still fair,
but
I mean, we got that too, so.
The 1-0 pitch is away. Yeah, we'll have an opportunity here to talk a little bit about everything that's and the races, of course. That's just glad that kind of summer weather is upon us. 2-0 pitch, hit sharply toward second, but fielded cleanly by Blumgren. He'll make the play, and Connor Fenlong retires the Red Hawks in order here in the bottom of the third inning. We're through 3 tonight at Newman Outdoor Field. We'll have more with Sophia Thompson, the great Sophia Thompson, coming up next. 2-0 Lake Country. This is Red Hawks baseball. Well, we go to the top of the fourth inning at Newman Outdoor Field. Beautiful Newman Outdoor Field here on the campus of NDSU. The retired numbers here at Newman. You ever get out here? Remember, again, I always say when this thing started being at the beginning in 1995, we were looking out here. It wasn't even named Newman Outdoor Field. We just named the nest. And I was broadcasting, and I think the facade wasn't even built yet. I was on a wood plank back here looking over. And Sophia Thompson in studio today, or in the press box today. Good to have Sophia. The lovely, talented Sophia Thompson, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
Juan, or I should say, as Patrick Wicklander gets going here in top of the fourth, trying to put away these DockHounds before give the Red Hawks a chance to get the bats going. Check swing does not go around. So, Sophia, the Fix It Forward Raceway. Talk about events coming up. What excites you about this summer?
Yeah, it's exciting. We have a new partnership with Fix It Forward. Previously, we were the Red River Valley Speedway for all of the years prior, and we got this new name, and we're doing a lot to enhance the guest experience. We're actually taking a few notes from the Red Hawks book.
Nice.
Because you guys do that great. And we are, really trying to get people not to just come for the races, but to come for the family fun of doing something on a Friday night. And so it's going to be a really, really fun year out there. Lots of new faces we hope to see, and a lot of learning from our team. It's new for a lot of us, but racing's been around and been a big part of our community.
Yes, it
so
has.
We're excited to learn more about it and kind of share that with the community.
1-2 the count on Joshua Mears. The pitch just a bit inside. Mears doesn't pull the trigger. Mears, Zimmerman, and Feliciano here in the top of the fourth inning of Newman. Yeah, the Speedway's always been a staple in the Valley, and it's a great place for events, and then the sounds, the sights. You mix
Have you
the
been
family
out there
and-
much?
Well, I've been here for some odd. Well, I'm only 24, but I've been here for
gotcha.
40 years. So
Yeah. I can tell.
So yes,
Yeah.
very much familiar, and obviously in our flagship as being with KFGO and
Yeah.
a fan for 30 years plus. Yeah, we've done a lot with the Speedway over the years
Yeah.
on the radio side for many, many decades. So 2-2 pitch popped out of play. And it is. This area has so much to offer. And when we talk about the Speedway, the Fix It Forward Speedway, and then, of course, the Red River Valley Fair and the acts that have come through and their rides, it's just, it speaks family like the Red Hawks do, as you talked about, Sophia. 2-2 the count, and the pitch from Patrick Wicklander pulled foul. Look out. I tell you, third base dugout got to be active tonight. It's almost like you're standing in the Speedway path and the cars are coming at you. And their events, you talk about fun for the whole family. That's what it is. And there's a lot of opportunities. And I'm sure you can get passes and book the whole summer off, right?
Yeah, so we have a season pass that is an incredible value for anybody who buys it. It is entry into all the races, including entry to the fair on the first day of fair, because we're having a race that day. So it will give you that entry. And then also at the World of Outlaws, which is normally a higher ticket. So, and a big event for the community. So we're excited to offer that in our pass.
Mears pulls the ball down the third base line, and Andy Nelson can't pick a tough spot here for Andy Nelson, going to his right, trying to backhand this ball down the line from Joshua Mears, and a lot of topspin on that ball, and he just couldn't pick it. Even if he does pick that, it would have been a tough throw across the diamond. So that'll be a leadoff single for Joshua Mears. So he's got 2 hits today and scored a run. Third hit of the game for Lake Country. Leadoff man aboard for the DockHounds. Second time they've had their leadoff man aboard tonight. Here's Peter Zimmerman. It's been tough to put away for Red Hawks. Runner going, pitches high and away. Amaya's throw to second, sails, and safe. At second base is Joshua Mears. He was off to the races. So.
Yeah.
Still in base. Boy, the Hawks now trying to cut down the DockHounds, but this team, the World of Outlaws always has been a poof. Man, that's one of those things. You get going, there's smaller, feistier vehicles, a lot of action, a lot of dirt kicking up. 1 ball, no strikes, and Zimmerman, 4 RBI last night, takes a pitch high. He homered yesterday. The home run Zimmerman hit last night pretty much separated the game. Made it 6-0. Lake Country was awfully tough. Had an opposite field RBI single last night. And tonight, Zimmerman has already got an RBI triple. He's a big boy that swings a big bat. The pitch, that's a strike, an off-speed pitch. So, but how long have you been with
the Speedway
Yeah.
and the fair? Yeah, I've been here for about a year.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna do.
I'm
Well,
a
good
little
for you.
seasoned, but
Good for you.
I was an intern originally and went away, finished up college, and now I'm back. And
Great.
yeah, I love working for the fair and the Speedway. There's so much fun in working in events like those and opportunities to market in ways like being here tonight.
No question about it.
We had a race car actually out at the field tonight. So those of you who aren't here, you're missing out.
Oh.
But it was really fun.
2-1 pitch, called strike. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Fastball runs away. Yeah, as much as Fargo Moorhead, it's what I loved about, the Valley. Being from western North Dakota originally, but living here and college here and broadcasting here and doing a lot. One thing, as much as the area is growing a little, as cities will do, is growing, the staples in this area, like the Speedway, like the fair. Zimmerman out in front of one, pulls one down the left field line. Richards near the corner, makes the catch in foul ground. Runner tagging to third is Mears, and he'll make it. Now Richards tracked it down. There's not a lot of room in foul ground down here at Newman Outdoor Field. A stadium built identical to Yankee Stadium in dimensions. And you pull a ball down that left field line, it's 318 in that corner. And Richards able to pull it in. But deep enough to advance the runner to third. So an F7 to retire Zimmerman. And here's Mario Feliciano. The Red Hawks, I'd imagine, would bring the infield in to try to prevent that runner from scoring from third. And now we've got a little delay with the umpires looking at. I don't know if. All right, we're good to go. So the Red Hawks will bring the infield in. So you got a vehicle out here, huh, Sophia?
Yeah, we get a big race car out here.
Yeah,
I think it was a sport mod.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Feliciano grounded to second. And the Hawks trying to keep him in that mode as Wicklander misses away. Well, racing is still awfully, and of course we, with the passing of Kyle Busch was very sad here recently, and then the Indy 500, if you like that racing, that was as close as a race in the history of the Indy 500, the Brickyard. There's a strike, but racing has always been extremely popular.
Yeah, and even now, I think there's kind of another boom with the F1 racing.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Plus, you can get food at there, too. It always goes back to, you notice it goes back to food. So
Always.
Here's the 1-1.
There.
Hit sharply. Now the runner breaks. There's going to be a play at the plate. He's out at home. Andy Nelson fields it from third. Guns down, Mears at home. And the Red Hawks needed that. It'll be a fielder's choice for Feliciano. Mears running on contact. And with that drawn in infield, there was just no chance he was going to go. All Nelson had to do was just throw a strike home. And Mears gunned out. Speaking of a racing name, Mears, thank you very much, Rick Mears. So 5-2 on the putout, and we'll see. I'm going to star that in my book. The Hawks are down 2-0. How big is that particular play in this game? The set by Wicklander facing Blomgren, runner going. Pitch swung out and missed. Throw to second. Not in time, and this Lake Country DockHound, man, they got their running shoes on tonight. It's 2 stolen bases this inning. 3 stolen bases in the game, and now what are they going to say? Oh, they're calling obstruction on the batter. So they did not give Amaya a chance to throw cleanly down to second. So that is going to be out number 3, and Blomgren called for obstruction and interference. So no runs, 1 hit, and no one left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, a little bit more with Sophia in the bottom of the 4th inning, and see if the Red Hawks can't get a run. 2-0 DockHounds. This is Red Hawks baseball. Up we go to the top of the 5th inning. Jack Michaels, Sophia Thompson, and here at Newman Outdoor Field, people are golfing. That's right. They're chipping into a dartboard for fabulous prizes. Fix It Forward Speedway, your place for summer fun, and it really gets eaten up. Food, fun, family, all of that. That's what Sophia's talking about. She is the marketing director of Red River Valley Fair. Bright young people, I love that. You know, doing what they love to do, and then the Speedway. We're talking to the fair. I don't know what's new this year, but there's always something that might be a little tweak at the right.
Yeah, you're talking the speed. I mean, there's a lot new at the Speedway, and there's always a little something new at the fair. I'm trying to think. I think the biggest thing that's new this year, well, we always shift up our buildings a little bit.
Yep.
But we're having an acoustic stage.
Ooh.
So we'll have our normal beer garden stage called our Froggy Free stage, and then we have the grandstand, but then we also will have an acoustic stage this year that will just be some more acoustic music.
Love that.
Yeah, just more music for people, more value for your general admission fair ticket.
2-0 pitch, Jack Blomgren leading it off, and a swing and a miss. It'll be Blomgren, Robertson, Zuber here in the top of the fifth inning. Well, the Red Hawks find themselves down 2-0. Their bats were quieted last night, and tonight, boy, they're doing it again. 2-1 pitch hitting the air to left field. That's as high as a Ferris wheel, and it floats nicely into the mid of Jarvis Richards for out number one. Were you a fair? You're a North Sider, which is great. Were you a fair girl? Was that something that excited you?
No,
so you learned when you got into the market.
I did, and I wish I would have been, but my family wasn't ever that into it.
Right.
And so we would always take like family trips up to Valley Fair once a year.
Sure.
But the fair being in Fargo, I mean, now that I've experienced it and marketed it and been in front of all the families there and the people that's their summer fun, that's the thing they save up for, the thing that they spend their money on their kids, they spend their money on. It's a privilege to be in the community, and I wish I would have gone as a kid.
No, and it's a great honesty and genuine. Zuber takes the ball away and now ball inside, because I'm sure people in the Red River Valley, you've got options. Do we put a whole couple tanks of gas in the vehicle and zip down to the cities and battle that traffic and get into that and walk around and spend all that money in a hotel? Or there's a pitch low. Do we have here and realize we've got a pretty good situation in your backyard?
And I think there's a misconception about the safety of the rides, which is a big hindrance for like ride families. Like we were a ride family. And I think there's like a misconception that the fair rides aren't safe, the ones that come into town. And they are, and they're very much safety tested, and they're also very fun. We have lots of big rides, and I went on the rides at the fair the last couple of years for my job, and I was like, these are just as thrilling as the rides that I'm going on anywhere else.
3-1 pitch in there for a strike, 3-2 on Brett Roberts, 2-0 Lake Country. Like I said, everybody, when you come see a baseball game, you turn it, to me anyway, you still turn into a kid. I mean, it's a kid's game played by professional men and all that, but it's at the fair is the same way to me. You get the adults going, but don't kid yourself. You get on the fairgrounds, you turn into a kid yourself. Payoff pitch is just a bit outside, and Roberts reaches on a free pass. One out base runner here for Lake Country in the top of the fifth inning. It brings up Ray Zuber the third. And the way Lake Country has taken off, and Sophia just was sitting with me the last couple of innings, you've noticed that when they get a guy on, these guys tend to take it off to second. So even with the left-hander that at times can neutralize that base runner at 1B, we'll keep our eye on that runner. And Brett Roberts, the base runner at first, he is fast. So Patrick Wicklander, pay attention to him. The catcher, Carlos Amaya. And there's a throw over to first, as we talked about, trying to keep him close. And Sophia Thompson with us, she says, during the break, I said, you're Fargo North girl. Red Hawks, one of those retired numbers up there. Jake Labor, number 19, and we lost Jake far too early in his life. But that's a young man that ball fouled away. Fargo North kid. Lived in North Fargo, pitched for the Bison in North Fargo, Red Hawks, North Fargo. He was just a life
through and through.
Unfortunately, lost far too young. But Jake Labor. So when you were talking about Northsider and Fargo, Jake Labor, one of the most beloved Red Hawks. 0-1 the count on Zuber, or excuse me, Reyes, and the throw over to first. I forgot that last inning with that obstruction with that batter out. 2-0. And the pitch bunted nicely back to the mound. Wicklander only play to go to first, grabs it, slings it in time for the out. Good defensive play. That's how you bounce off that mound. On to second. Goes Zuber, 1-3 in the putout to get Reyes, and here's Tom Johnson. Well, good. And I've already checked with our meteorologist, Tom Szymanski. All the weather, they're all going to be good. So
good. That's all that matters. You and I both got a lot riding on that.
That's right. Going to knock on wood right there.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about the Hawks and the fair, or the Hawks and or the fix-it-forward races, at times you might have, day games here, or game gets done, boom, you can hit both in one night, right?
Yeah, and they're both affordable, so it's not a crazy concept to go to both.
Tom Johnson, 0 for 2, flew out to center in the first, reached on an air in the third. Runner in scoring position for Lake Country. The pitch is hit sharply to straightaway center field. On the move, Lujano trucks it down and makes the catch. Jesus Lujano in center field, bringing it in for out number 3. Well, that is it for the DockHounds. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. Sophia Thompson, thank you so much for stopping in.
Yes, thank you
I'm
so
sure
much for
I'll see
having
you
me.
around North Fargo.
I
at
think
the
you'll
fairground.
see me tomorrow.
Oh, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll
be back. We got more
Bring
fair
some
to talk
good luck.
about.
Yes, we do, dear. What a great lady, Sophia Thompson. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 DockHounds. This is Red Hawks baseball. Now, those of you tuning in on the television side, remember Vin Scully one time when they came back to a Dodgers telecast and there was a shot of the moon, much like you're watching now on the television side, and all Vin said was, "Can you believe we put a man on that thing?" Just a great thing. Yes, the moon out, the sun's still out, one of those days, and hopefully the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks bats can come alive. Now, I say that without any demeaning of the pitcher. That's the problem. Connor Fenlong has been really sharp. Here's a little knuckleball slowly hit by Lujano. Scooping it in and making the play is Jack Blomgren, the second baseman. I'm sure the Hawks in their dugout are chatting a little bit. What did he throw you? What kind of movement? Are there any patterns we can pick up on this right-hander? Do we jump? Do we try to ambush that first pitch? What's he throwing you? And a right-hander? All of that said, you're trying to gather information, you're trying to do it, and when you look at the numbers out there, and the Red Hawks have yet had a hit, and we're talking about having just one base runner, and it's a team that was averaging, 7 and change a game as far as runs in the early part of this season. So it's an offense that certainly can produce runs, but the last 2 nights, have just produced the 1 run last night, and tonight, been awfully tough to get a man on. Wilkerson, the batter, and he chops one left side of the infield. Played by Correas, and a quick toss across the diamond. We're out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. I'm going to bring up Carlos Amaya.
Catcher, number 48, Carlos Amaya.
And in baseball, it just seems like one entity begets another, So you've got obviously a guy that's making the pitches. Then, when the ball's in play, he turns around and you've got an infield that's making the plays. And then you've got that defense working and the bats are they're running. That's the kind of thing. Now, the Red Hawks is trying to mix that up and start something of their own as Amaya takes a strike. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. No runs, no hits for Connor Fenlong. The pitch is in a little bit high. Got our tough question on a Wednesday. 4 people you'd love to meet. Pastor President, whose last name starts with a W and ends with a Y. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And then you come back with that heat. Walt Disney. D-I-S-N-E-Y. Disney, yes. 1-2 the count on Carlos Amaya, former Kane County Cougar. In case they went from one dugout to the other after this past weekend. Amaya swings and loops one foul.
That's another Ravello tire ball. Ravello covering all the bases for
Earlier today, Sioux Falls mentioned split with Kane County. Cougars took game 1 4-0. Sioux Falls winning 1-0 in the nightcap. Chicago 7-6 winners today over Cleburne. Amaya swing and a miss, and the 8th strikeout of the game for Connor Fenlong. Man alive, his pro career high for Fenlong is 7 Ks, and he has now surpassed that. We are through 5 tonight from Newman. Our score remains Lake Country 2, Red Hawks nothing. This is Red Hawks baseball. I use the term that long-time broadcast partner Maury Wills would say, it's getting late, Jack, getting late. Yeah, it is getting a little late here as we enter the 6th inning. The okay news is that the Red Hawks down just 2 runs. I mean, that's, you get someone on, you make a little something happen. Problem is, Hawks have only had 1 base runner in this game, and that is the big tip of the cat. Again, this story tonight, 2 runs for Lake Country. And they got those in the 2nd inning and a single, a triple, and a sac fly. But the story tonight is Connor Fenlong, period. I mean, that's the story. Now, Patrick Wicklander, to his credit, 2 runs on 3 hits. We're talking about quality start. So, Wicklander certainly holding up his end of the bargain as he bites a pitch off a little bit inside. At times, we've seen Lake Country put a few to the plate, but Wicklander been able to induce some balls. Keep in mind the Red Hawks have committed 2 errors in this game tonight also. The 1-0 pitch hit high in the air to right field. Dylan Thomas back deep, now in foul ground. And Dylan Thomas, he's got it and makes the catch in foul territory in the DockHound bullpen. We've seen a couple of those tonight. Again, foul territory gets more narrow as you move down the lines, and Dylan Thomas hanging out there. That's where the DockHounds or visiting team's bullpen is. You got a bench, a chair, the water coolers down there, and DT able to kind of navigate through all of that. First pitch swinging, and Mears sends one to the moon. High and deep to left field. Back is Richards, and he reaches up, and he makes the catch. Flush against the wall. Jarris Richards able to pull it in. That slight breeze blowing in from right, and Mears absolutely tattoos this ball. A lot of parks, that ball is gone, but I mentioned when you start getting into left center, it gets a little deeper out there, and Richards able to get back there and bring it in. Found the fence, right there at scoreboard, and then just flush against it, make it a grab. Now Peter Zimmerman steps in, 2 up and 2 down, and he takes a strike at the knees. I'll say it again, Patrick Wicklander, well, he's done enough tonight to keep you in this ball game. The lefty from that scent position kicks and fires. That's a good-looking pitch, but it sails low, good off speed. Gary Southshore taking a 2-1 lead on Winnipeg. That's now in the 8th inning at the Steel Yard. Breaking pitch fouled back. Hey, you got groups, 20, 50. Great packages available for group picnics here at the ballpark. Call 235-6161 for more information on that. Andrew will take care of you. 1-2 pitch is a changeup away. Sophia Thompson here talking about the races and the fair. Keep in mind, too, Fargo Blues Fest happening here at Newman Outdoor Field Friday and Saturday, July 24th and 25th. Go to FargoBlues.com. The great VIP packages. Zimmerman slicing a ball to center, right center. On the move is Lujano. It'll drop in for a base hit. And again, Peter Zimmerman has been a tough out. I'll say it again for Red Hawks pitchers last night and tonight. His 2nd hit of the game tonight. Had a couple of hits and 4 runs batted in yesterday. Yeah, that Fargo Blues Fest 3-time Grammy winner, veteran Bobby Rush. The Cashbox Kings and more. Brad Thome loves his blues, and they bring in the goods. Get your tickets there Friday, Saturday, July 24th and 25th. Mario Feliciano, the batter. The set by the left-hander Wicklander. Zimmerman not a threat to run, and Wicklander doing that pause, and now a breaking pitch down low. And this time Feliciano said, I'm tired of waiting for the pitch. I'm not going to call time. I'm just going to step out, and he takes the ball low. And Feliciano now in the box. 2-0, Lake Country leading. The check of the runner. And again, with 2 seconds on the pitch clock, delivers a little bit away, ball 2. Now, the kids want to learn baseball for the pros. Hawkeyes Kids Club, presented by Mazda and Kia of Fargo. Fun way to do it. Boys and girls ages 5 to 13, welcome to join. And a big July 11th, you mark down on the date. There's a strike. At Skills Camp, July 11th. You got discounts on birthday party packages, vouchers for games, and more. Call 235-6161. Couple of balls and a strike on Feliciano. Big cut by Mario. Fouls one back. Tonight also college night. Look around the ballpark. Wednesday nights are college night at Newman Outdoor Field. Looks like we got some college folk here. Comfortable night. And those college kids to the young kids to the adults all in their Red Hawks gear are hoping for some magic here mid to late in this game. DockHounds leading 2-0. Wicklander trying to put away Feliciano. And a fastball rides high and away. If you come out to Newman, make sure you stop in the team store. Great selection of Red Hawks caps, shirts, polos. Deck yourself out with a great gear. Open game day and weekdays 9 to 5. Zimmerman will take off with a pitch home on the 3-2 count. Here it comes, and this one laced into left field. It'll drop in there for a base hit. Zimmerman, who is on the move, heads on to third. The throw, he's out. They got him. He is out at third. Jarvis Richards guns down Peter Zimmerman at third. Oh, the cannon in left field by Jarvis Richards. Yeah, we'll mark that down and see how big this is. Yeah, Richards fielding, and even though Zimmerman was running on the pitch, Jarvis Richards getting to that ball and throwing a strike to Andy Nelson, who applies the tag. And that is it for Lake Country. They get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Our score, Lake Country 2, Fargo Moorhead nothing. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. Bottom of the 6th inning at Newman Outdoor Field. The story tonight has been Connor Fenlong. You know, this guy has been putting it off the plate and a lot of swing and miss tonight for the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks. And, you know, you could see that one time through the lineup, okay, that's good. But usually that second time in the lineup, this Red Hawks batters find a way to, you know, start making some noise. But that has not been the case tonight. Through 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. That's a new high for Fenlong. And we'll see if inning number 6 has anything for Fargo Moorhead. You know, when you look at games like this, as the first pitch hit to left field, and the Red Hawks have their first hit of the game. Aiden Byrne breaks up the no-hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We said earlier, and I was about to say, oftentimes when a guy is keeping you off the bases and keeping you off balance, sometimes your speed guys maybe try to bunt themselves on. Now, Carreras was playing even with the bag at third, and Aiden Byrne just found something and finally got a ball into the outfield. So now the tying run to home plate. Here's Andy Nelson. He chases a ball to bunt it and missed it. And you can see maybe what Chris Coast is thinking here. It's 2-0. Wicklander is doing his job, the defense for Fargo Moorhead. And Coast is thinking, if I can maybe just get one across here, put him into scoring, maybe that'll get some things going. So Andy Nelson squares, and he bunts this one to first. They're going to try to get first, and that's not going to work. That's an infield hit. Zimmerman came in. The ball bunted hard. Zimmerman fielding it, and that looked to second to get one, and then late to get the first was the second baseman, Jack Blomgren. And when Zimmerman decided he was going to go to first, Blomgren had to just do a sprint to try to get it. Well, Andy Nelson, that was just a race to the base. So a couple of base knocks to get the Red Hawks going in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the batter here is Jarris Richards. Now the question is, does Chris Coast put the bunt on for Jarris Richards and put 2 in scoring position for Juan Fernandez? The answer is yes. Now this ball bunted back to the mound. They're going the short way. Out at third is Aiden Bird. So Richards bunted that ball, but it had a little bit of steam on it right back to the pitcher, Connor Fenlong. And credit the catcher, Mario Feliciano, is kind of the quarterback of that infield. He immediately screamed, "Go 3, go 3, go 3." And Fenlong able to get the lead runner, Aiden Bird. The 1-5 on the putout. It turns into a fielder's choice for Jarris Richards. And here is Juan Fernandez. The pitch. Jimmy takes a strike. Boy, and that's the case too. You know, the last couple nights the Hawks have been strapped a little bit, trying to push guys across the plate. And had an inning building here. And now can Juan Fernandez find something? Instead, it's a ground ball to short, might be 2. Reyes to second for 1. A relay to first, a double play, and the Red Hawks fail to score here in the 6th inning. For Fargo Moorhead, no runs on 2 hits. They leave a runner. Tough one today here in the 6th for Fargo Moorhead. We played 6 tonight at Newman. The score remains Lake Country 2, Fargo Moorhead nothing. This is Red Hawks baseball. From Newman Outdoor Field, sun not setting yet. This game's had a pace to it. And obviously it's 2-0. Lake Country leads it, but that got that pinkish hue tonight. Is called to the bullpen, presented by Kia of Fargo. It's a Kia Fargo call to the bullpen. Pitching change, making a walk-off win and a redesigned Kia Telluride from Kia Fargo. Well, I got to tell you, it's nice to see Mason Pelio on the mound. He took a ball on a line drive, a comebacker over the weekend against Kane County that Pelio went to block his body and put his pitching hand, his right hand down, and a ball came flush onto that hand. And obviously the result the next day was like, okay, he was gripping a ball again. So it's just great to see Mason Pelio. And kudos to Patrick Wicklander, trying to match Connor Fenlong today. All right, we're going to have a pitch clock violation on the batter here in the top of the 7th inning. So we're going to get a strike on Jack Blomgren. Or did they pull the ball? I heard the third base umpire, Alex Endel, yell, batter. Now we'll wait and see here. The pitch on the way. Pelio misses inside. Yeah, I think I just saw 1-1. So, yeah, that is correct. That was a strike on the batter, Blomgren. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Mason Pelio is on. Just trying to keep this at bay. Hawks had their best opportunity in the bottom of the 6th inning and could not cash in. Had 2 on, nobody out, down 2-0. But a sacrifice bunt attempt turned into a fielder's choice, and an inning double play ended any kind of threat. Blomgren swings hard and fouls back. 2-2 the count. Now the wind and the pitch. Breaking pitch hit sharply into left field, a base hit. Might have caught too much of that plate. There's a base knock for Blomgren. And a throw comes back over to first, and he's back on the bag. Batter here is Brett Roberts. Now we saw the Red Hawks. Well, they got a couple on, trying to manufacture via the bunt and move over. What will Ken Huckabee do here? Of course, the way they are stealing bases, he may not have to lay it down the way this team is running. And a bluff steal. The pitch is away. The throw to first. And back on is Blomgren. Yeah, Blomgren, one of the fleet of foot boys, and they've got a few for these DockHounds. So Pelio not only working on with his battery mate Carlos Samaya to work on the batter. You got to be concerned of that run game as well. The set not running. The pitch hits the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Again, last night, Hawks drop it 14-1 tonight. Just a good matchup. 2-0 Lake Country. Here's the 1-1. Hit in the air, down the right field line, high in the air. This one will twist out of play. A ball and 2 strikes on Brett Roberts. 0 for 2 in the game. Reached on an air and a fly out tonight. The Red Hawks have a double play that they've turned tonight as well. The set by Pelio, and the runner goes. Pitch is low, and Amaya unable to get a grip on that ball. And another stolen base for Lake Country. It's the 4th stolen base tonight for the DockHounds. Yeah, Carlos just trying to transfer that over. The ball pops out, so now a 2-2 count. Pelio, boy, what you wouldn't give for a strikeout here. How about a strikeout? Boy, taken for strike 3. He bent that in the front door, and that's a backwards K. He's able to get Roberts. What a strikeout does, you know, it allows you to possibly get out of this inning. Now, again, Lake Country, a base hit could score a run. But if Roberts puts that in play and advances Blomgren, you'd have a runner at third with less than 2 outs, and a fly ball out would get a run in. The strikeout keeps the runner at second. Now you're facing Ray Zuber the third, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, and Pelio delivers a strike at the knees. Two teams wrapping up this series tomorrow night. 1 strike on Ray Zuber the third. He's grounded to second and walked. Hawks infield tugged that way, and here's a ball off the end of the bat, corkscrewed foul.
That's another Ravello tire foul ball. Ravello covering all the bases for a safer drive. Traffic Corwin Auto Group in Fargo and Moorhead. Big Gibbs Tire, Grand Forks.
Red Hawks, by the way, they get off their road trip coming up. They come back home June 9th. It's a Red Hawk t-shirt giveaway night on June 9th. 2-strike pitch. Lifted to left field, but Richards coming on. He'll make the catch. For out number 2. Good position defensively. Just a little fly ball to left field. There's out number 2. So going back to the strikeout of Roberts this inning.
Shortstop number 3, Rick Reyes.
You know, if he advances that runner at second, Blomgren, and then you get that fly ball, possibly Lake Country tags and are up 3-0. That's how big the strikeout was this inning for Mason Pelio. Now, he's not out of the woods yet. Got to find a way to put away Ripken Reyes. Reyes 0 for 3 today. Switch hitting Batman chokes up a bit on that stick. Here comes the pitch. It's inside, might have hit him. In fact, it did. It spun in and brazed the arm, and that is a hit batsman. It'll get Dom Johnson to the plate. Now the Kansas City Monarchs in town. Now, June 9th. First 1,000 fans receive a specialty Red Hawks t-shirt courtesy of CI Sport. Bell Bank night, June 10th. Two on, 2 out. Last thing the Hawks need is for Lake Country to start producing here. Mason Pelio wants to get that third out. Fires one high for a ball. Johnson is 0 for 3 tonight. Dom has flied to center twice and reached on an error. Red Hawks have committed 2 errors in the game. 2 runs, half a dozen hits, no errors for Lake Country. No runs on 2 hits for the Red Hawks. The set by Pelio and the pitch. Swing and a miss. A tight baseball game and a beautiful night at Newman. And the crowd here hoping that Pelio can get the Red Hawks to the 7th inning stretch, get the bats going, and he comes inside for a ball. June 11th is a business day game, the first business day game. It's a 12:30 start time, brought to you by Digital Planes. And then after the game, it's a Happy Harry's post-game concert in the Budweiser Beer Garden featuring Rachel Iannero. There's a ball away, ball 3. Now the man on deck, despite Carreras tonight 0 for 3, this guy's got some pop in his stick. The 3-hole hitter to Mason Pelio and his battery mate Carlos Amaya trying to figure out something to get that third out here in the top of the 7th. The runner at second, Blumgren. Reyes at first. Here's a pop-up heading into the stands. That'll be a souvenir to first base side. And out of the concourse and into some cotton candy. Those business day games are great. It's a great time with great music. 3-2 the count on Dom, D-O-M, Dom Johnson. With 2 outs, Blomgren, the runner at second, will take off on the pitch home. Ripken Reyes will take off from first. Here comes the payoff pitch. Just a bit high. He walked him, and the bases are full of DockHounds. Might even bring a little trip to the mound for Chris Coase. We'll see. He's got confidence in Mason Pelio, though. It was a single by Blomgren. He stole second, but then Pelio gets the big strikeout of Roberts. Zuber flares a fly ball out to left. It appeared maybe Pelio getting out of it, but he hits Reyes and now walks Johnson. A lot of confidence in Mason. Got to come back, maybe work from that position of strength, get ahead, facing Carreras, and that's how you get ahead. Came with a pitch in there, fouled straight back. Just playing these DockHounds, the Red Hawks, it's like driving a toaster through a car wash. Just not easy. Hard. Need an out, the Red Hawks fans say. And here's a pop-up. That'll reach on top of Newman Outdoor Field. 0-2 the count.
Sounds like somebody better call Glass Doctor. Glass Doctor with locations in Fargo and Moorhead. He'll fix your pains.
Bases loaded, 2-0 DockHounds leading, trying to add. Pelio trying to slam the door shut here in the 7th, and he turns one over away. Carreras doesn't chase. You know, Julio this season coming into this game hitting in a .356 pace, 0 for 3 tonight, but, 6 doubles, a triple, a home run, 8 runs batted in. Now he has struck out 14 times and walked only 4. He's up there to try to drive a couple in. Pelio, the 1-2. Breaking pitch down and away, and now again Carreras showing patience, not chasing that. Love these matchups here. The pressure. Pelio just trying to rise above here and get that swing, get that weak contact, get that third out. Here it comes. Way outside, ball 3, and now that pressure leverage falls back to the pitcher and Mason Pelio. You can't afford a ball. That scores a run. If you go middle, well, you got the 3-hole hitter that can do damage. Carreras has not shown to chase anything. What's Pelio going to come with? The runners will take off with a pitch home. The payoff pitch, just a bit high. He walked him. It's a bases-loaded walk, and it's 3-0 Lake Country. Mason was so close to getting out of this thing without a run against. That'll draw a visit to the mound from the Red Hawks manager, Chris Coase. The borderline pitch up in the zone. The strikeout, we talked about how big that was this inning. It afforded him because you got the fly ball after it for 2 out. That hit batsman to Ripken Reyes. That, in this inning, looking back, was the bugaboo. And the free pass to Johnson, obviously, and now the free pass to Julio Carreras. So 3-0. And home plate umpire Jeff Beeman coming out. That meeting is over. And Now you got to face the cleanup hitter, Joshua Mears. And Mears has been swinging it well tonight. He singled and scored in the second. Singled, stole a base, and was eventually gunned out at home plate in the fourth. And then launched a ball to the wall in left center field that Jarris Richards made a catch on. The pitch is a strike. Wyatt Cheney getting the start tomorrow night for Fargo Moorhead. Dominique Cancellieri on the hill tomorrow for Lake Country. The pitch, down and away. One and one the count. Reyes at third, Johnson at second, Carreras at first. The pitch home. Swing and a miss that time. Pelio showed middle, bit down, and he's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. You ever get a feeling when you're listening and or viewing a game that this batter is really big in the grand scheme of things in this one? The 1-2 is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three-0 Lake Country. Pelio more than capable, but Mears dangerous at the plate. And the ball runs away, a fastball at 94. Now 3-2. Well, now you're in that same spot. Got to throw a strike. And you know Mears, he's going to load up that barrel if it's there. Time called. Mears says, I need a second. And Joshua Mears mentioned 2 for 3 tonight. He's 11 for 42 on the season. 3 doubles, 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. No room for Mears. Pelio trying to get this game into the 7th inning stretch. The runners take off. Here's a ball fouled at the plate. We'll do it again. Got to the 9th inning in Gary, Indiana. And the Railcats trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead on Winnipeg. They're the 8th inning in Lincoln tonight. The Salt Dogs leading Kansas City 4-1. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top 7 payoff pitch is popped up on the infield, and Mason Pelio gets the job done here. Catch made by Colby Wilkerson, and the DockHounds will have to settle for just 1 run on 1 hit. They strand 3. It's time to get them up and stretch them out at Newman Outdoor Field. 7th inning stretch time. It's Lake Country 3, Fargo Moorhead nothing. This is Red Hawks baseball. Bottom of the 7th inning at Newman Outdoor Field. One of my favorite 7th inning Snack Michaels candy tossers, the great Teresa. Oh, I just call her Mama T. She's in charge. We look to her for all that. Great stuff. Coming out to Newman. Dylan Thomas leading things off. Hawks got to find a way before to try to get 2 runs. Now they got to find a way to try to get 3 runs in this game. Connor Fenlong got the start. He's in there here as he buries a fastball strike at the knees at 94. Thomas, Sermo, Lujano, the scheduled hitters here in the Red Hawks 7th. Wind in the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he is still working the top, working the middle, working in, mixing. We've seen him elevate, forcing him get upstairs with that fastball. 1-2, and then he comes back with a slider. It's inside. The 2 hits Fargo Moorhead had, one's an infield hit by Andy Nelson, the other a base hit by Aiden Byrne to left field. A 2-2. And again, Dylan Thomas takes low. Thomas drew a free pass in the 1st inning. 3-2 the count on Dylan Thomas. And the Red Hawks jumpstart something late in tonight's game. And Thomas takes just a bit high, and there's Dylan Thomas Second walk of the game, 11th free pass taken this season. And the Red Hawks, for the second straight inning, had their leadoff man aboard, and now some activity starting to heat up in Lake Country's bullpen. That left-handed action is Brody Rodning and Jacob Pilarski, the right-hander, getting loose. Pilarski, the right-hander, Rodning, the left-hander, in the bullpen for Lake Country. Jose Sermo, 0 for 2 in the game. The pitch, swing, got a miss at a big kid. Just when you're thinking maybe coming first pitch fastball, that stuff that he's throwing up. What does Fenlong do? Pulls the string off speed at 81. They play Sermo to pull on that infield to the right side. One defender on the left side. And now the ball is off the catcher's mitt of Feliciano, and that'll bring Thomas into scoring position on a pass ball charge to the catcher, Mario Feliciano. And the thing you think tonight, just because baseball has that domino effect, I'm sure Red Hawks fans thinking tonight, boy, if you can get one, maybe we can get two. And if you can get two, maybe you can get three. Fenlong, the pitch, inside for a ball. Good eye by Jose Sermo. Again, that back foot slider to the left-handed batting Jose Sermo. A little bit of a breeze. Still have a slight breeze blowing in tonight from right center field. Now Sermo got the power to cut anything through anything. And here he slices one up and foul out of play. Mention coming up on the next homestand. All the Jersey nights and all the Bell Bank night, all the special things coming up. Keep in mind, June 12th, Busch Light Wood Chippers night here at Newman. 2-2 the count on Sermo. The pitch inside moves him off the plate. Yeah, Fargo Wood Chippers Friday, June 12th. Don't miss it. The first of 5 Wood Chippers games this season. Special game-worn Wood Chippers jerseys auctioned off. Other great things planned. Fireworks. Now, did Fenlong move him off the plate to send him something from the back door in? The pitch, swing and a miss. He came back with a heavy heat and a strikeout here in the 7th.
Center fielder, number 9, Jesus Lujano.
11 strikeouts in the game. I mean, this kid. Has the goods, and here's Jesus Lujano. Again, Red Hawks just getting whatever they can. They can get one. Just speaking of wood chippers, just chip into this 3-0 deficit. That's a strike to Lujano. Red Hawks have not had a man touch third base tonight. 1 strike pitch is a chopper to the right side. Not an easy play, slowly hit. Now the fielding by Zimmerman to the pitcher covering Fenlong, and the out is made. 3-1 on the putout. Rod number 2. I'd imagine for Connor Fenlong, he gets out of this one. I'd imagine then we would see bullpen activity for the 8th and or the 9th. But first things first, can the Tar Heel drive a run in? Switch hitting, second baseman. Colby Wilkerson, and just a bit away. Good eye, Colby. Red Hawks last night scored late. Their 1 run. Trying to get 2 out. Knock here from Wilkerson, and a strike at the knees. And speaking of big runs, fortunately for the Twins, they were on the wrong side of a 15-2 game tonight on the south side of Chicago. 1-1 the count on Wilkerson, and the pitch. Oh my, spins it past the bat of Colby. 1-2 the count. Dylan Thomas at third. 2 outs, bottom 7. And the pitch. Knuckled on the ground. Now this is not going to be an easy play. Backhanded by the shortstop Reyes. The throw not going to be in time. Wilkerson beat it out. The kid beat it out. It's an RBI infield hit. And finally, the Red Hawks are on the board, trailing at 3-1. Oh, that thing was a little gopher killer on the grass. A little Massey English slow roller. And Colby Wilkerson hustling down that line just beat the throw. And Wilkerson, the infield hit, scores Thomas. And that might be it for the starter, Connor Fenlong. If it is, what a performance tonight by this young right-hander, Connor Fenlong. So his day is done. 11 strikeouts in the game for him. But the Red Hawks finally crack it a little bit. It takes an infield hit with 2 outs to knock him out. It's a key call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new hurler when we return. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning at Newman. Tying run coming to the plate. It's Lake Country 3, Fargo Moorhead 1. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. Jacob Pilarski, right-hander on for the DockHounds here. In 5 innings of work, 7 strikeouts, couple of walks. Pilarski on, facing Carlos Amaya, the right-handed batting catcher. Wilkerson on at 1B, the pitch on the way, and this ball scattered foul. Can't close the line yet on the starter Connor Fenlong, but he went 6 2/3. My aircraft here tonight at Newman, the old 912 on. Amaya swings and fouls away. Those of you that have taken in tonight's game, Ray Media or Digital 11.4, the 365, of course, AA Baseball TV. With the great shots of Newman Outdoor Field, not far from the airport. Not like Impact Field in Rosemont, where they're coming in right over the top of you, but we do get aircraft in the area. 2 strikes. Adamaya, and takes a fastball in. Does everybody throw 97 for Lake Country? Every arm and Huckabee brings in out of that bullpen. I mentioned Dillard last night was blowing up there 96, 7, 8. On this, Pilarski also. Strong-armed right-hander. Lots of velo out of that pen for the DockHounds. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and then as I say that, he twists one off speed, and that's all for the Hawks. But they do get a run on 1 hit and leave a runner. We go to the top of the 8th inning. New score. Lake Country 3, Fargo Moorhead 1. This is Red Hawks baseball. Well, we go to the top of the 8th inning here at Newman Outdoor Field. The Red Hawks have a couple of swings left themselves. And, well, the thing is, can you hold Lake Country down and find a way to attack the bullpen? Well, we'll find out the next couple of innings here at Newman tonight. Dusk certainly falling. Night not far away from entering. And Angelo Cabral, the right-hander, is on. Love AC. Angelo Cabral. He is second year with the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks. I mentioned Chris Coast loves him. Great confidence in Angelo Cabral. Cabral's a guy that can come in, close for you if you need it. Can come in, be a long reliever, can spot start. Cabral is a versatile pitcher. You can stretch out, as I said, or can come in, obviously. And hopefully Cabral, who's got 7 innings of work this year, 10 strikeouts. Around the plate, facing Peter Zimmerman, and the big slugging right-handed batting first baseman takes low for a ball. Zim 2 for 3 tonight with a triple, his first triple of the year. A run batted in. Splashes one foul back on a play. Zimmerman last night was 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in and a home run. So 4 for 7 in the series with a triple, a home run, and 5 RBI. Takes away ball 2. Cabral working quickly, down to the plate. That's a good-looking pitch. Taken for a strike, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Milwaukee has opened up a 7-2 lead in Sioux City tonight. That is in the 8th. Here's a ball hit to the first base side, fielded by Sermo. Flips it to Cabral, and there's out number 1. So Cabral able to get the leadoff man out here. 1 away for Mario Feliciano. Lincoln Salt Dogs with a 4-1 lead at last check in their game on Kansas City. That is in the 9th inning. Cabral, slow line, quick to the plate, and a big swing fouled back. Other scores tonight. Well, today Sioux Falls splitting a pair with Kane County. Losing game 1-4-1, bouncing back with a 1-0 win the nightcap. Chicago nips Cleburne 7-6 today. Here's a ball away. That game has gone final now in Gary, Indiana. Railcats get a win, 2-1. Hot smash. Oh, and it hits the third base bag. Off the swing from Feliciano. He'll take the big turn at first, and now he's trying for 2. There's going to be a play at second. He's out by a step. Jarris Richards is gunning down players. Hand over fist tonight at Newman. His second runner gunned down. Threw Zimmerman out at third, and now throws Feliciano out at second. Feliciano just target practice, pulled the ball down the third base line, and Richards tosses into Wilkerson. And don't run on Jarris Richards. And quickly 2 outs. Now for Feliciano, thinking about 1 out. I'm going to see if I can't get myself in a scoring position. So not terrible. He took the turn and took off, but just a nice toss there by Jarris Richards. Cabral drops a strike in after a ball to Blomgren. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jack Blomgren. So Gary with their win today now goes to 4-7 on the year. Goldeyes dropped to 5-6. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blomgren 1 for 2 tonight. The wind, the pitch. Little number. This is a slow roller, not an easy play. Coming in, Nelson got a scoop, and Byrne actually takes it. No chance. It'll be an infield hit. Either one, whether it's Nelson coming across at third or Aiden Byrne coming in. Blomgren just runs too well, so he picks up a base knock, his second hit of the game, and here's Brett Roberts. Remind you, there's 2 outs, 1 on, and Cabral facing Roberts. The pitch, and drops in for a strike. Last inning, kind of saw a little bit of that. Leadoff man aboard, got to scoring position, appeared that Hawks were able to get out of that, and then, hit batsman walk and a walk. Scored that 3rd run, the bases on a walk. Cabral just trying to put a big stop sign here in the 8th. Oh, and a violent pitch all the way to the backstop. That grip just held on a little long. A runner in scoring position. That's big. I think you have seen that of Bull Durham. I want you to hit the bull. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 2 men out. Cabral more than capable. The right-hander's pitch. Fouled away.
Another Ravello tire fall ball. Swing for the fences with Ravello Ridge Track all-terrain tires. Buying today. All City Auto and Service West Fargo. Schumacher Goodyear.
Lake Country got a couple of runs in the 2nd inning. And tip your hand to Patrick Wicklander, kind of held him to that. Swing and a miss is Angelo Cabral. High heat at 93, went up the ladder and got a strikeout of Brett Roberts. Big time pitch there. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Newman. Got a tight one. Lake Country 3, Red Hawks 1. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. Well, let's see if there's some magic here in the late stages of this one. Red Hawks fans now checking their tickets to see if they won the 50-50 raffle, by the way. So I think we found a winner in the stand. What a neat feeling that. Yeah, high fives, everybody. Dinner's on me.
Another Kia of Fargo bullpen change.
Pays to get that raffle. Bo Phillip, the right-hander, is on for the Lake Country DockHounds. So Phillip comes on, third pitcher used for the DockHounds today. Connor Fenlong, pitcher of record, at 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 hits, 1 run. Went 6 2/3. Jacob Pilarski went a third of an inning. Now Bull Phillip. He's got 3 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, no walks. And I said a lot of arms coming out of that pen are power arms. We'll take a peek at Bull Phillip here as he faces Aiden Byrne. Byrne swings and fouls off the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Clanks off that retired Doug Simonic side area there. Well, 33 right there, the skipper. Well, Byrne got the Red Hawks going in the 6th inning. The pitch is away for a ball. Chris Coast, you talk ball with him, often talks about, real good, solid teams find ways after the 6th inning. If you're down, obviously to manufacture, to start rallies. Usually the bottom of that lineup can flip to the top, and then conversely, bullpen arms to hold that down. And what we've seen from Lake Country, pretty good bullpen arms and obviously good starting. So now it's really up to the Red Hawks offense here. And Byrne will have to protect the 1-2, and he fights another one off. Like to compete in Aiden Byrne. 2191 paid attendance for tonight's game. That's 2,200 fans that got themselves a ticket to the Fix It Forward Speedway. Tonight, tomorrow, you come on out to the ballpark, and we always say bring your ears along and tune in. Get a chance at tickets to the Red River Valley Fair. 1-2 the count on Aiden Byrne. The pitch. Oh, he got it. Boy, sweep that ball away from Aiden's bat, and a strikeout for Bo Phillip. That is the 13th strikeout total for Lake Country. Batter here is Andy Nelson. And Aiden Byrne trying to share information with Jarris Richards as he goes into the dugout. Let's see what Nelly can do. The pitch taken for a strike, 95 again. One strike on Andy Nelson. 3-1 DockHounds. Swing and a miss. Boy, that's heat coming up and in. I was chatting with Corey Probus today, the television voice of the Twins. We were just kicking around, talking ball, and we mentioned that Mizorowski, that pitcher for Milwaukee that had 57 pitches. Here's a liner. That's going to get down. Yes, a base hit by Andy Nelson. Slapped that fastball that got up in the zone, and Nelly able to get enough bat turned over to punch it to right field.
Left fielder, number 49.
And that'll bring up Jarris Richards. Just went up to get it. Andy Nelson is second in. And Corey and I were chatting today, just talking ball. And I said, in the future of the game, do you think we're going to see more guys like Mizorowski that continually are velo guys, 100, 102, 103 consistently? Or is the game of baseball, we're going to see guys like Shohei Ohtani, two-way players that can pitch? And Corey and I were chatting. Corey said, we're not going to see a Shohei Ohtani the rest of baseball. That guy's a unicorn, he said. So my guess is we're going to see more, if it's down to those two similarities, we'll see more power guys. And like I said in this series, if fans had been here at the ballpark or those tuning in, it's just a lot of big arms for Lake Country. Runner going, pitch is a strike, throw to second is not in time, and now it's into center field. Nelson's trying for third, and he'll make it. And the Red Hawks getting aggressive, and Andy Nelson, another stolen base in his column, and a throwing error charged to Feliciano, the catcher, first error of the game for Lake Country. Well, the Red Hawks down 3-1, trying to just fight and claw and chip away. Nelson with his 6th stolen base of the season. Now, to Richards' credit, he took that ball to allow Andy to get to second. The ball was a strike. Count is 1-1. Lake Country will concede the run to get the out as Phillip steps off the mound. Wind picked up a little breeze, a couple of knots. Old Glory and the Maple Leaf blowing in from right center field. The Hawks looking for a base knock here from Jarris Richards. The pitch, and this one hit Richards on the toe. Otherwise, the run scores, but that's a hit batsman, and now the tying run is on base for Fargo Moorhead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Juan Fernandez is the batter. Now it becomes chess, not checkers. This is what you love about baseball. Richards, oof, ouch, right up that back cap. That stings. That's a slow walk. That's a painful walk. He was trying to let that blood flow get into that left ankle of Jarris Richards, and he's going to take his time as he starts getting feeling. He also knows that he's a pretty important runner. But I say it becomes chess, not checkers right now. You ever want to be a manager of a baseball team? Now put yourself in the mind of manager Chris Coast. You've got one of the great batmen at the plate in Juan Fernandez. As much as you would love to get Jarris Richards to second, while Fernandez is at the plate, meaning if you can do that, a base hit could tie the game. But at what risk do you try to do that and not run yourself out of a potential inning? Just spitballing here in that scenario, my guess is that, and Chris Couse will tell these guys, I'm sure he has a stop sign, meaning he probably has a sign that says, don't. But I think a lot of times, you know, if Richards feels he can make it, you take it. Bo Phillip, quick meeting on the mound. So runners at first and third, the pitch, and Fernandez laces a base hit to right field. A solid hit by Batman. Nelson comes in to score. Richards on his way to third, and the Red Hawks have pulled within a run, now trailing at 3-2. And that's where base running also comes into play. Not only does Juan Fernandez bring the Red Hawks within a run, because Richards running the bases strong, he gets himself to third, and now a fly ball could tie the game here in the bottom of the 8th. And that whole thing about is Richards you don't want to, you default back to just let Juan Fernandez swing and let him hit. Well, Dylan Thomas, an opportunity here. Red Hawks have pulled within a run. The pitch, DT foul straight back. He was right on that fastball. The tying run at third in Richards. Bo Phillip versus Dylan Thomas. The pitch, just a bit outside. And a little thing about Juan Fernandez, you talk about resilience. Fernandez today had grounded out, then grounded into a double play. But his fourth at bat delivers a solid base hit to pull the Hawks within a run. 1 ball, 1 strike on Thomas. The pitch coming. He is sharply hit down the right field line. This is going to tie the game. Fernandez running second. He's digging for third. And the Red Hawks comeback is complete. We're tied at 3 at Newman. Now the ball is thrown away in the infield, and Thomas takes second base. And the go-ahead run now 90 feet away. So Thomas ties it up with a base hit. And I think they're going to assess possibly an error on the throw back of the infield to put Thomas at second. And I don't know if Jose Sermo is going to get a pitch to hit here. So an error will be charged, and I'd imagine they'll just put Sermo on. Or are they going to pitch to him? Sermo's asking, are you putting me on? Now they're going to pitch to Jose Sermo. So a fly ball here could give the Red Hawks a lead. Now they step off, and now they'll talk about it. What would you do? You've got Jose Sermo, 7 home runs, 17 runs batted in. I think Jose even thought with first base open. Well, now that whole chess checkers thing, now the chess is the decision-making's got to go to Lake Country and Ken Huckabee. Now, you can pitch to Jose. My guess is they're probably going to try to pitch around, obviously, but the danger in that is if you spike one in the dirt and pitch around, you could wild pitch that go-ahead run in. So the infield brought in 3 infielders on the right side. The set by Phillip in the pitch, and he just misses away. What a battle tonight for Fargo Moorhead. Tied at 3. Nobody at shortstop or up the middle. 1 ball, no strikes to Sermo. The pitch and popped him up behind the infield. Now this is shallow. Are they going to tag Fernandez? Oh, it's going to drop in. It falls in. And Sermo's going to have a base hit. The wind knocked that down with that shifted infield. Lake Country's left fielder Brett Roberts racing in. Dom Johnson coming in from center. The ball right behind shortstop. And Jose Sermo has a high, shallow fly ball base hit. Go figure. And now Jesus Lujano. This started with an Andy Nelson base hit. Stole second, moved to third on a throwing error. Richards hit by a pitch. Fernandez drives a run in. Thomas drives a run in. Now Sermo a single. Bases are full of Red Hawks in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Jesus Lujano trying to put the Red Hawks ahead. Tied at 3. Here comes the pitch. It's a ball down low. This is why you don't leave Newman. I mean, you come on out. The set by Phillip. And the pitch home. Just a bit outside, and it's 2-0. Jesus really trying to lock in right here. He's looking something he can put a barrel on and get into the outfield somewhere, somehow. Go ahead run at third and Fernandez. 2-0 the count on Jesus. Swing and a miss. That's good heat. Again, we saw the DockHounds, pull that out when they needed that sac fly, and they got that earlier, and that's what Jesus is doing, trying to elevate, trying to drive this ball into the outfield. The 2-1 delivery, swing and a miss, and my goodness, Bo Phillip has found an extra gear. 96, he is rearing back and loading that right arm up. Soft contact if it's in the infield on the ground, bigger contact if it's a fly, but contact needed. The 2-2 pitch. Contact made. That time, Jesus got a barrel on it. Colby Wilkerson would be next. Well, the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks, who had been handcuffed for a good chunk of this game, trying to break out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The right-hander Phillip ready on the hill on the pitch. Popped him up into shallow center field. This might drop. This might drop. It doesn't. It's caught. And Fernandez retreats back to third. Had a mild little collision out there in shallow center field, but Dom Johnson able to come in and make the catch. And you hope that everybody's all right. Blomgren went out, that second baseman, and Johnson coming in, and then Blomgren just had to do a kind of a dead leg flop. Well, tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And one of the newest additions to the Red Hawks, Colby Wilkerson, at the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight and takes the first pitch strike. 97. By the way, Bo Phillip is increasing his velo. That's a guy with a little adrenaline pumping out there in the hill. Can Wilkerson find a spot? The pitch popped him up. And this ball will fly foul, unplayable. Connor Fenlong now will not factor in the decision for Lake Country, and for that matter, Patrick Wicklander for the Red Hawks. It's Bo Phillip right now, a hand to 0-2. on Colby Wilkerson. Go ahead run at third, bases loaded, bottom of the 8th, high. That one 98, I wasn't lying. He's gone from 94 to 95 to 6, 97, and that one at 98. Trying to see if Colby can chase one up. Just takes one, put a barrel on that ball, see if he can find some green grass here at Newman in the outfield. 1-2 pitch. Chopper towards the middle, coming in sharply, and the ball takes a hop off the lip. Throw to first in time is Ripken Reyes. Able to make the play, but the Red Hawks have come back to tie it. How about the resiliency of the hometown Red Hawks? 2 runs, 4 hits, a couple of errors, and 3 left. We go to the 9th inning. We've got a new score. It's Fargo Moorhead 3, Lake Country 3. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. We have reached the 9th inning, and it's taken a while for the Red Hawks, but the persistence pays off as the Red Hawks push across a couple in the bottom of the 8th. The tied at 3-3. Night is falling here at Newman Outdoor Field. And Lou Fuenmayor, the left-hander, is on here for the Red Hawks in the 9th inning. Fuenmayor on for Fargo Moorhead. So Angelo Cabral goes an inning, 2 hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Fuenmayor, well used. Fuenmayor got a couple of wins for the Hawks this year in relief. Maybe that's Lou's game. He could just come on in and hold down the fort, see if you can't push across the run offensively. First things first, got to figure out how to put away Ray Zuber the third. Lefty on lefty, and a strike in there from Lou Fuenmayor. Fourth pitcher used tonight for the Red Hawks. 1 strike on Ray Zuber. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and boy, Lou. A lot like, Red Hawks have a lefty in Parker Harm as well, and both of these guys can put that middle away, off-speed, kind of sweeping, breaking pitch. And against lefties, it is so devastating. Your Ray Zuber, you see that ball around the middle, knee high, and that spin just continues to move away. So does Lou bury one down and in, or does he put another one in the outer half? The 0-2. He went front door breaking pitch. How about that? Strike 3 called, and Lou, a backwards K. That's odd because Amaya, the catcher, set up outside, and Lou stuck a front door breaking pitch in there. Sneaky. Top of the order down, Ripken Reyes. Reyes batting right-handed here, takes a pitch a little bit away. Boy, heck of a contest. There's a lot of topics in this one tonight. Starting pitching, certainly. The pitch popped him up on the infield. Jose Sermo says, "I've got it." In foul grounded 1B, and Fuenmayor retiring the DockHounds. 2 up and 2 down here in the 9th. Connor Fenlong certainly is the story tonight. The Red Hawks. Jarris Richards throwing out a runner at third, throwing out a runner at second. Remember, we talked earlier, if you've been with us the whole time, how big were those? The Red Hawks getting a guy out at home tonight. It's been that kind of game here. Close to the vest, tight. 2 outs, and Dom Johnson the batter. And a pitch down and away. Those little things in baseball, you take 1 or 2 of those things away, and we're talking about a different game. The next thing for the Fargo Moorhead Red Hawks is find a way to win a game like this. Lake Country, they're not going to go away any quietly. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, nasty pitch. Off speed. Swing and a miss. By the way, in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Red Hawks have numbers 7, 8, 9 due up. Amaya, Byrne, and Nelson. And if anybody reaches, Richards. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dom Johnson. And the pitch. Hit back up the middle and off the base at second base into center field. And a 2-out hit. As I said, Lake Country, give them credit. They're just tough to put away. Now here is Julio Carreras. 0 for 3 with a walk today. Chris Coast says, all right, with the righty up and a lefty on the mound for me, I'm going to go out and match an arm with a bat. And Lou Fuenmayor gets a couple outs. But he'll exit, and we've got a pitching change here in the top of the 9th inning. My guess is that looks like the lanky Tyler Jeans. We'll tell you about that when we return. We're in the top of the 9th inning. This is a Kia Fargo call to the bullpen. 1 on first when we return for Lake Country. It's Fargo Moorhead 3, Lake Country 3. This is Red Hawks baseball. Jeans on here for Fargo Moorhead here in the 9th. Dozen strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings for Tyler. Really worked on his craft. I caught a lot of Tyler Jeans in the offseason. If you follow some of these guys on Insta and whatnot, and just told Tyler, watched a lot of, he's just a workhorse. Working on, and it shows. You know, he's a strong arm. He's got great stuff. Chris Coast could use him, again, versatile. When as a stopper, a closer, you can use him in the middle. And right now, they bring in Tyler Jeans. His role here is to get out number 3. And do we have time? No, do we have a... Was that a pitch clock? I saw home plate umpire Jeff Beeman. Hold on, runner going. Pitch is off of the middle. Maya better hurry and get it. As he does. That'll be a stolen base. That should be a stolen base. The George Ellis reeled, he was running with the pitch, so that's a stolen base for Dom Johnson. But got to double check here. The scoreboard reads a strike. I think there may have been a pitch lock in there. There's a ball lined down the right field line and foul. I'll reset that pitch clock here. Two strikes on the batter, Julio Carreras. Jeans the pitch, and again, punched foul down the right field line. It's been this way in this game. The Red Hawks weren't getting much, if anything, done against the starter for Lake Country, then started getting a rally. That was snuffed out. Now we've tied it at 3-3, and here's a fly ball hitting here to right field. Dylan Thomas says, I got it, and he does. And errors out number 3. Jeans comes in, gets the fly out, no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Somebody find that rally rabbit. Bottom 9 coming up. Hawks 3, DockHounds 3. This is Red Hawks baseball. Bottom of inning number 9 here at Newman Outdoor Field. Alan Carter is on for the Lake Country DockHounds here. Darker than a cup of black cats, so it's not completely night out. I mean, not completely out there, but it's getting there. Lights illuminated here on the north side of Fargo, North Dakota. So the catcher, Carlos Amaya, will lead it off. It'll be Amaya, Byrne, and Nelson. Thought for a second I wondered Chris Coast would have gone and grabbed maybe a Trip Clark, but you know what? Great opportunity for Amaya. He's had a tough night. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Alan Carter is on. A strong right-handed pitcher for Lake Country. Comes over the top. Amaya swings and launches the ball high in the air to left field in the first pitch, but Roberts back. That breeze blowing in tonight. Goodwood. A long fly ball out. Here's Aiden Byrne. Well, you get a couple of these burners at the bottom of the Red Hawks lineup, Byrne and Nelson. If you can get one of them on, you can maybe get them into scoring position. And if you can get one of them on and maybe get them into scoring position, maybe you can knock them in. And if you can get one of them on and get them into scoring position and knock them in, maybe you could win a game. The key, you got to get them on. So Carter versus Byrne. And a check swing, strike called. But Carter's got that funky delivery, kind of comes over the top. So again, the Red Hawks have seen 4 different arms now in this game, trying to adjust to each. Julio Carreras, as you see late in this game, guarding that third base line, and there's a pitch wiggling inside off speed, a swing and a miss. The thing about baseball, if you've seen a few different pitchers, and Aiden Byrne, saw Fenlong, Aiden Byrne then saw Bull Phillip, and now Byrne sees Carter. 0-2 the count. Time called. Guys stepping off, guys stepping out. Again, Carreras guarding that third base line. First baseman Zimmerman is off the line. Right-handed batting Aiden Byrne trying to get on here in the ninth. 0-2, the pitch coming. And he misses high. Think about that over the top, and if you leave that ball up on the outer half of the plate, a guy like Byrne who can go oppo can shoot a ball towards that right field line. Curious of location of this pitch. He does shoot it the opposite way, but foul. Outfield fanned out, not too deep, but again, slight breeze blowing in, making the park a little bit bigger tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Aiden Byrne. Byrne 1 for 3 in the game. We're knotted at 3 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Was sent by Alan Carter in the pitch, and a swing and a foul. Wyatt Cheney going tomorrow. Consolari going for Lake Country. Aiden Byrne hanging, the rookie shortstop for Fargo Moorhead. The pitch, got him. Boy, that thing just spinning down, bottom out. Got a strikeout. So now down to 2 outs, and let's see what Andy Nelson can do. He's 2 for 3 tonight. I go back to what I'd mentioned a minute ago, though. If you can get him on, and maybe get him over with a stolen base, and then you can maybe get him in. You can't steal first base. Alan Carter facing Nelly, and a swing and a miss. Man, that just top to bottom spin. Hard to square up that. I think we've learned something. We've seen some good bullpen arms in this series also. Nelson tries to get a piece of that one and fouls it off. 0-2 the count. Jarris Richards would be next. Now if this does go 10, Lake Country to have numbers 4, 5, and 6 due up in the top of the 10th inning. Hawks fans hoping Nelly can find something to square up here against a tough right-hander, and he stays alive. Sends that ball foul. The way that this is matching up, right-handed arm of Carter, spinning that top, and a right-handed batter. You know, the money here down the count 0-2 to sit down there and try to get something into right field. The pitch, and he fouls it off to the right. Over the top of the retired Jeff Bittiger, number 35, the late, great Jeff Bittiger. Hawks dropped yesterday, trying to even up this series. Put them in a spot to possibly win a series, but need a run. The pitch, pops it up again. That'll be a souvenir. Yeah, who's got the energy? We're going to wait for, and a clean catch and a hop. Now that's casual. That's the second one, that particular gentleman, and he's given both to the children. I mean, he's come on. Well done. Karma's going to follow you nicely. 0-2, the count remains. Nelson just trying to pick something out. And a check swing, if he went, I would run down to first, and they say he went. He didn't run right away, and this will be a strikeout. 2-3. There's 2 ways to do that. If Nelly just takes off, maybe he reaches. But he was hoping that they wouldn't say he went around. But the appeal says he does. K2-3, and we are going extra innings tonight at Newman. 9 in the books from Newman. Bonus baseball. We come back. Hawks and DockHounds tied at 3. This is FM Red Hawks baseball. Well, we go to the top of the 10th inning here at Newman Outdoor Field. Bonus baseball. So you'll start with that free runner at second base. Everything else final tonight. Josh Mears leading it off for the Lake Country DockHounds. I was curious how teams play it. Now Mears a big power hitter with Carreras, the runner at second here in the 10th. Tyler Jean stays on. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Now we talk about it. You know, if you don't try to manufacture one, if the Red Hawks can find a way to get Mears out, here's a check swing foul off Mears' body. If you can get him out without him advancing a runner, then you allow yourself an opportunity to get out of the inning without giving up a run, meaning Lake Country would have to get base knocked. So that's the challenge here. Can Jeans get Mears? Mears, couple of hits though in the game. Dangerous hitter, 2 for 4 tonight. He's barreled some balls, and there he fouls one off of Amaya's mid. Mears singled and scored in the second, singled, stole a base in the fourth, and then eventually that inning was thrown out at home. Think about that tonight. Lake Country's had a runner thrown out at third, second, and home tonight. The 2-strike. Uh-oh, this ball hammered deep to left field. Mears sends that one near the light pole and left way out. A 2-run shot. And Lake Country has taken a 5-3 lead. And is one of the longer home runs we have seen here at Newman Outdoor Field. And the strength of Joshua Mears, his 4th home run of the season. And it's a 2-run lead for the visiting DockHounds. That is a case where a big, strong, cleanup hitting man did not miss it, and he got all of that and knew it. High in the air near the lights, way up top. Even some of the camera angles didn't catch the ball on that one. A 3-hit night for Joshua Mears. And Jean's coming back, facing Zimmerman. A ball, now a strike. The pitch from Jeans is away. One of those runs earned. The free runner never goes against a pitcher's earn, but that home run was definitely earned by Joshua Mears. A 2-1 pitch is high, 3-1. A lot of ball game. Hawks are going to have their opportunity in the bottom of this 10th inning. And a strike delivered by Tyler Jeans. Milwaukee defeating Sioux City 7-3 tonight. Lincoln defeats Kansas City 4-1. Steve, right 3 call. Jeans able to put away Zimmerman, catches him looking.
Strikeout, High Point Edwards serving the Red River Valley and beyond.
Gary South Shore 2-1 win at home against Winnipeg. Chicago 7-6 over Cleburne. Sioux Falls and Kane County split a twin bill. Now this is the only one remaining in the AA. There's a strike quickly in there to Mario Feliciano. Bottom 10, 5-3. Lake Country. Here's a bounding ball towards the middle. Scooped up by the vacuum Aiden Byrne. Tosses over to 1B. And there's on number 2. Brings up Jack Blomgren.
Second baseman number 10, Jack Blomgren.
Now Kane County with that split today. If Lake Country gets a win today, they'd pull within a half game in that East. And with a lot of the West teams falling, KC, Winnipeg, Sioux City, all falling today. There's a quick strike in there. Again, the Red Hawks will get their swings as well in the bottom of the 10th inning. They'll have the top of the order due up. Jeans throws high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the Red Hawks not only will have the top of the order due up, they'll have Andy Nelson as the free base runner. First things first, got to get that third out here in the 10th. There's a strike. 1-2 the count in Blomgren. Now Jack's 2 for 3 today. Couple of singles, stolen base. 1-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Tyler Jeans A big strikeout. But it was Joshua Mears with a towering 2-run home run in this 10th inning that has changed the score. A tape measure shot to left field. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. It's Lake Country 5, Fargo Moorhead 3. This is FM Redhawks baseball. Kia called the bullpen here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Brody Rodning, the left-hander, on. Moon is out. His retired numbers in Newman Outdoor Field. We're looking at what would Joe Mathis be doing right now if he was swinging. If you ever come out to Newman, of course you got Jackie Robinson's number retired, and great Jeff Bittiger, Roger Maris, Joe Mathis, Jake Labor, Doug Simonic.
For the Red Hawks, left fielder, number 49, Jarris Richards.
Well, Andy Nelson, the free runner at second base, and here is Jarris Richards. Thus, Lake Country bringing the left-hander in here with Richards and Thomas do have a couple left-handed batters, so that is that. Alan Carter becomes the pitcher of record for Lake Country. Carter had a couple of strikeouts, faced the minimum in his one inning of work, but Carter becomes the pitcher of record. Tyler Jeans on the hook for the Hawks. Richards the batter, lefty versus lefty, down 2 runs. And the first offering is low and away for a ball. And the difference at 10th inning, a tape measure shot by Josh Mears. Can the Red Hawks, well, if not a home run, can they just get some base runners here and some base knocks? A lefty, Rodning from the set, and the pitch home. Pop foul. Brody Rodning, the 1-0 in the year. 3 1/3 innings pitched. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. He has not given up an earned run. Nelson, the runner at second. And the pitch home to Richards. Good eye. Jarris watches that slow pitch break away. Rodney trying to induce that early swing. Two balls and a strike. On Richards. Juan Fernandez waits on deck. Rodney bluff move to second. Andy Nelson back. And that slight breeze blowing in from right center field towards the left field line. Close stance by the lefty. And the pitch home. High, ball 3. Well, Richards in that leadoff spot for Fargo Moorhead for a reason. You know, good plate presence. Mentioned he has drawn a dozen walks this year. Tonight he's 0 for 3 with a hit batsman. He is going to run. Rodney going to have to come with one here, or Richards will take it. It's got to be his pitch if he's going to swing. The pitch, oh my, swing and a miss, and he came back with a heater in a great location. That ball had some good movement down and away. Yeah, got it past him, so now the count full at 3-2. 3-2 the count. 5-3, Lake Country leading in the bottom of the 10th inning. Swing and a miss, and he came high with heat. And a big strikeout there for Rodning here in the 10th.
Designated hitter, number 23, Juan Fernandez.
Be a save situation for Rodning. Here's Juan Fernandez. The Red Hawks, you can say they are maybe 2 big hits away from possibly tying the game, or 1 big hit away from tying the game. The pitch to Jimmy, inside for a ball. Five runs, 10 hits, couple of errors for Lake Country. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Fargo Moorhead. Fernandez delivered in the 8th. And here he pops and foul. Well, the DockHounds today have stranded 8 runners on base. The Redhawks have stranded 6. They've got a man at second now. That free runner, Andy Nelson, 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Juan Fernandez. And the pitch. High, ball 2. Game 3 of this series tomorrow night. 7:02 first pitch. Pre-game show at 6:40. Hawks trying to pull off some late 10th inning magic. Ball 3, and it's 3-1. And that pitch away, Dylan Thomas on deck. Which is why that Ken Huckabee went with the lefty here. Not only a good pitcher in Rodning, R-O-D-N-I-N-G. Brody Rodning. Close stance. The 3-1. Fouled back. Good cut. Came back with a fastball. A similar approach here. You know, he put away Jarris Richards with the little elevated heat. Now, what does he go with? Juan Fernandez. A right-handed batter in Juan Fernandez, one of the top hitters in this league. 3-2 the count with Thomas on deck. Nelson takes his lead at second. And the payoff pitch, he walked him. And now the tying run is on. Fastball away. Now Dylan Thomas, lefty on lefty. Thomas hits lefties fine.
Right fielder, number 22, Dylan Thomas.
Dylan Thomas 1 for 2 tonight. He delivered the single that tied the game in the 8th inning. And again, another guy that's not afraid to draw a free pass and pass the baton if you don't get something to your liking. And of course, Sermo is a switch hitter on deck. So 2 on, 1 out, bottom 10. Rodning's pitch, and good eye, Dylan. Had the bat going for a minute, but not enough to strike call. 1-0. And Dylan Thomas, as much as we've seen him, pull home runs out, that breeze I mentioned blowing in from, center, right center to the left field line. If Rodning leaves the ball up and away and Thomas goes oppo, we've seen Dylan Thomas tearing the ball opposite field. The pitch, that's a strike. Came back with a fastball, belt high. Nelson at second. Fernandez, the runner at first. Hawks trail 5-3, bottom 10, and the pitch to Thomas. Just a bit away. Ooh, borderline pitch. I'll give Jeff Beeman, who's the crew chief behind the plate, he is as consistent as there has been tonight. And this crew has done a good job. He's just left it to the players to decide the outcome of this game. Couple of balls and a strike on DT. Here comes the pitch. Oh, my, there's the heat, and DT was on it, and he threw it past him. Great location coming down and in. Dylan sitting on that. Great cut, saw it, but a good location coming in and down. Yeah, don't tell me Dylan Thomas did not read that, baby. Now 2-2. Does he spin one? Thomas got to try to stay alive in this at bat. The set by the left-hander. And the pitch home. High and tight, ball 3. I'll tell you something. In that particular series, Rodning didn't immediately pay attention to Andy Nelson, who was dancing a little bit at second. Then Rodning looked back. So the count is full. A ball here puts the tying run in scoring position. A base hit could get a run in. An extra base hit could tie the game. The payoff pitch, runner going, and this ball is ripped into right field. It is caught, and now Nelson's got to get back or he's going to be doubled off. He's doubled off and the game is over. Andy Nelson took off to third. He couldn't get back. The catch made, and this one ends tonight at Newman Outdoor Field on a double play. 5-3 your final in 10 innings. And that is all tonight. That ninth inning for Fargo Moorhead. No runs, or I should say the 10th inning, no runs on no hits. There were no errors and one runner left on base. Final line score, 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for Lake Country, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Red Hawks. Alan Carter the win, Tyler Jeans the loss, and Brody Rodning gets the save in this game. Game played 3 hours, 7 minutes, 2,191 paid to see it. Our post-game show is coming up next, a final tonight from Newman. In 10 innings, Lake Country 5, Fargo Moorhead 3. Post-game shows next. This is Red Hawks baseball.